Hello. Hello, hello. We have Justin and British Gamer. Welcome, guys. Let me turn down the music a little bit. There we go. Freddy's meowing at me. That means that we are here. We are live. I am here. I am live. Welcome everybody. I'm just planning on farming some primos today for Cyno and Candace. That's the big goal. That's the big plan. Oh my gosh. Oh, Freddy. Oh, yeah. Good boy. Your nose is bleeding. Oh gosh. Go take care of that. That sounds like maybe a little bit more urgent than a live stream. Oh, Freddy. Oh, I was laying down right before this live stream, and man, I got so cozy. It was like, you know, I don't know if you've heard of this or not. If like you can only nap for 20 minutes, or you can nap for like an hour and a half because of the way sleep cycles work. And so it was like one of those perfect 20 minutes. You lay down, you get really cozy, and then right before you get sleepy, like super sleepy, you get up. And it was good. It was nice. It was nice, right, Freddy? Yeah. He agrees. Anyway, I was just kind of letting the stream get started. We got 2 people here right now, but more people will probably pop in as time goes on. I'm gonna get my Genshin pulled up here. I do not remember if I had game music on or not, so I'll have to find out. I think I did. Welcome back. Hope your nose is taken care of. Oh, I do have game music. Okay. Oh my gosh, Freddy is just going hard. He's going hard. Look at him. Yeah. Look at him go. He's licking like crazy. He's into it. He's even doing the Nami Nom things. He's going crazy. He's a wild animal. Let me see if I can pick him up. Oh, he doesn't. I don't think he... No, he's chill. Gotta get some Freddy snuggles before we farm primos. Isn't that right, Freddy? He's a good boy. Hey, Nat. He's like, I'm so sick of you. Okay. There we go. Sometimes I can't tell if it's Freddy's hair in my mouth or my hair in my mouth. So far, 40 pity for Kusanali and 10 pull saves. Nice. I think that's... I thought that was Wizard at first, but now I think it's like Wired. Welcome. Welcome. Getting my Genshin pulled up. Let me swap over. You might skip her. Oh, well. I'll stick on face cam for just a second here while I get set up. You might skip her. Yeah, I'm probably... I have a feeling that Dia is going to be coming with Kusanali. So I have a feeling I'm going to go for Dia. And then I'll probably get Kusanali on her rerun. Oh my gosh. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited for Dia. But I'm more excited right now for... Waradica? I don't know what that means. That doesn't ring a bell for like anything specific. Stradivarius, welcome. Welcome everybody. I'm gonna get cozy. Gotta get my legs crossed. Because that is the best way to sit when you game. Not really, but... Okay, let me swap over here. We don't need that. We don't need that. We need that. And there we go. All Samira characters are likely to rerun before 4.0 series, so it's always a good idea to skip. Yeah. Yeah, every character that comes out, like that's new, will rerun before we go to the next region. So it's never a bad idea to skip their initial banner and bet on, like, you know, the second banner is the one you don't want to skip, because that's when, you know, they start to get thrown into the rerun cycle, and we're not sure exactly when some characters come back around after that. But the first two banners are really predictable. Just gonna get some, I'm just gonna bang out my dailies real fast, and then we're gonna go straight into, I think I gotta finish up the events. I really want to do quests, but the events are the things that go away. So I have to prioritize those. Can't wait for desert. I know. I'm very excited to see what they do with the desert, and also desert music. I need more of that. I need more of that. You're gonna skip her in favor of Hutao or Kazuha. Potentially, I don't know if I then respect her, but check characters right now. Nice. Sounds Pog. Both those characters are very cool. They're very cool. Well, I was gonna set a light goal. Wow, that was 45. Let's just do 25. Oh. Oh. We can give Freddy catnip. Whoops. We haven't given him catnip in a while. And all good boys deserve catnip. All right. Gotta get these dailies done. Whoop. Do you think the sand physics can be applied on phone? I don't. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. I don't see why not. There is apparently a small area that you can go right now and test out the sand physics. I haven't been there. I'm guessing it's over here. Like this area right here looks like it sticks out, and it's kind of desert-y. I heard, but yeah, people are saying there's an area you can go and you can mess around and play with the sand physics. It should be, I mean, it should be possible. It really just depends on the device, I would think. I used to run Genshin on my phone, on like a pretty high-end phone. And, I mean, it ran really nicely. It looked really good. Just really hard on your battery. Where's, oh, there it is. That's the weird thing with mobile gaming, I think, right now. Like, phones have the capacity to play pretty intense games now. It's mostly just the battery issue, I think. And the worst part about it is probably just that pass-through charging is, like, bad for your phone. So if you, like, charge your phone while you're playing on it or whatever, it's, like, not good for the battery. And phones tend to run out of battery pretty quick, just because the games draw so much power. It's like if we had an option to like dock your phone, you know what I mean? Oops, totally don't do that. Oh yeah. The pass-through charging. Yeah. All right. What will happen if the sky falls? technically it can't. Maybe so. Why doesn't the sky fall? Why won't the earth clap? Okay. Good luck, Steve. So do you need my help? Clap, clap, clap. Beacons. Put them on cliffs. I got it. Don't worry, man. I got you. Hello, meow. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Make sure you all drop a like as you pop in for the Fredster to get his catnip. I hope you all had a good one today. I had a pretty chill day. I've got some good video ideas coming up. So I think I'm gonna record a video tomorrow and probably edit it and try to get it out. Ding. Good job, guy. You tried really hard. I'm proud of you. Where's the other guy? Oh, there he is. And another beacon. There's a Dendroculi. Dendroculus. I mean, not the plural, the singular. Scaramouche theory foreshadowing. Yeah, with the falling star. Yeah. Yeah, that was a funny... I was thinking about that when he said that. The fun way to interpret it. Hey, New Lunar. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hope you are doing swell. We're helping Fargani right here. Uh-huh, yes. And then do the beacons. Do the stuff, the beacons. And we'll go here. These Sumeru dailies are pretty quick. They are not usually that difficult. Like, what I don't understand, one thing someone mentioned to me, and it's so true, like, I don't understand. There's supposed to be commissions that people pay you to do. And like when you're in Mondstadt and Liyue, like I can totally understand someone paying you to do, you know, the things that you're asked to do. But like, who's paying us or commissioning people to bounce on mushrooms? Like who has so much money that they're just commissioning people to like go out and bounce on mushrooms? Game's a little loud. I'm gonna turn it down just a smidge. But I gotta wait until... Well, actually, I don't have to wait. Because this game, you can pause it. Shocking. What the heck? Like all those attacks just went up there for... Oh, I think it attacked the that dendro thingy up there. That's weird. Okay. Now I can turn down the game. That's right. That's what I thought. And we go turn them in. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Now what do we have going on today for... Oh, we have ley line overflow. Okay. I already condensed my resin, but that's okay. Let's see, how much more do I have? I recently spent a lot on Ignari, but I had like 12 million and I dipped down to like 9 million. And then I guess just from farming and doing quests and events and stuff, I'm back up to like almost 15 million mora. So I think I need books. Yeah, I need books a lot more. I only have 771 heroes wits. Gosh, I'm so excited for Cyno. Only? Yeah, well, they're gonna get eaten up. Because I still haven't even raised... I haven't raised Kale or Dendro Traveler at all yet, which is gonna take a ton of resource. And then... Well, I guess Dendro Traveler not really as much, but... And then we have Cyno and Candace coming, and I want to build both of those units. What? Oh, those hilly churls be dancing. Don't like Nilu? I like her, like, I like her design. I think her burst is super pretty. I just feel like for my account, I have enough Hydro characters. If anything, I have too many right now. Like, I have Yelan, I have Child, who I haven't used very much in a long time. I have Ayato, who I do use. I have Kokomi. So I feel like I'm good on Hydro units, to be honest. Like, I want Candace because she has infusion, and also because she has that parry mechanic, and also because she's awesome. But, and she's on Cyno's banner, so it's like, it's a win-win-win-win. Like, yeah. I can't get everyone this time around. I pulled everyone in Inazuma, and I ended up regretting it, you know? Because, you know, there's no rush, really. What do I think about the next, oh my gosh, I can never remember the acronym for that. The Genius Invocation or whatever it's called with the card game. I'm really excited for it. I think I don't know how to say it. It's like, I'm not a big card game person, and so I'm looking at this as an opportunity to see what, like Hoyoverse doing a card game, they're gonna do a good card game. Like, they're gonna do it well. Seeing what we saw already, there's like effects and fancy stuff, and it looks, you know, relatively, like, you gotta have strategy and stuff, I guess. So, R.I.P. Mona, Barbara, Zenchu. Well, you know, I just don't use everyone. Yeah, I don't have to mention every Hydro character, do I? To like, you know? Jeez, guys, sticklers for details. I mean, I don't even use Barbara, Mona, or Xingqiu, so easy for them to... it's not like they slipped my mind. I saw them. I just thought to myself, well, I don't even play these guys, so I'm not even gonna mention them. Where the heck are these freaking mushrooms? Anyway, I hope the card game provides some rewards for like easy to get primos for people to farm. Wait, what? What happened to that quest with the mushrooms or whatever? Yeah, strange bouncy mushrooms seem to grow in this area. Are they talking about the bouncy mushrooms that I was bouncing on? That's weird. For a moment, when I first saw Candace and Nilu, I thought Candace was also a 5-star. And I was like, Hydro characters can only be 5-star. That's funny. Yeah, no, she has a really good design. It kind of reminds me of Sara. Like, Sara has such a good design that it's almost 5-star level. And that, I think the same about Candace. I think she has just a super nice design. Yeah, I like her kit too. She's gonna be really fun for team building. Just being able to have Hydro infusion is pretty great. At least make it challenging. 5 primos per whim, no fighting same person 10 times in a row, primo farming detection. Wait. Oh, I would assume that every week there will be, like, what I'm kind of assuming right now from the card game is that every week we will have like either a couple people to fight, like it'll be like, I don't know, who seems like someone who would play this game, like Benny, Mona, and I don't know, Tignari. They show up to some area, some public area for card games, and yeah, Ito, whoever, and you play them, like you actually play the card game with them, and you get like 3 characters a week or whatever that you do that with, and you probably get like 10 to 20 primos per time that you do it, and like you probably don't even have to win, because it's like, this has to be, they can't make the card game, if it has primos, it can't be locked behind skill, because then people will complain like, I'm just not good enough to get the primos. So it'll be kind of like, in my mind, just sort of like free primos that you get just for participation. They already mentioned in the live stream that it's meant for casual gameplay. Like, they mentioned that this card game is not meant to be like a, I'm sure people will host, but see, here's the thing that I'm thinking about. Even though it's really simple on the surface, like, oh, it's a card game, people could host competitions for it outside of the game. You know what I mean? There's nothing stopping anyone from just like getting their friends together, and you can do PvP without rewards. You could just have your own rewards. You know, you could have like $100 top-up pack as a reward for winning this card game. And since you can't whale on it, it actually gives something competitive for us to do that, like, you know, free-to-plays, whales, light spenders will all be on an even playing field, I'm assuming. Okay, that's what I'm assuming. Flow server card game event, yeah, exactly. We like, I can host card game tournaments. You know, it's like we can have like Yu-Gi-Oh Genshin edition. We're playing Yu-Gi-Oh Genshin style. Also, I think someone said it. I think it would be good though, since there is a boss card to use. Yeah, being able to use boss cards, enemy cards, more than just character cards. I think that'll be good. Imagine the passive of Geo cards makes a shield that can reflect attack from any element. Ooh, that would actually be really fun. I wonder how you get the character cards in game is going to be what characters you have in a game. That I was thinking about that too. I think there's pretty much 2 routes that they can go with the cards. Okay. I think basically the cards are either maybe 3 things. Let's say, okay, I had 2 in my head, but I just thought of a 3rd one. So first thing, they can drop from Resin spending, like an RNG. Anytime you spend Resin, there's an RNG chance that you drop a card, no matter what domain, no matter world boss, doesn't matter, ley line, doesn't matter. It's just like there's a small chance that it'll happen. That's one way they could do it. Another way that they could do it is they could put them in chests, so that you have to go around and farm the overworld for the cards in chests. What was the 3rd way that I was thinking of? Oh, the 3rd way, and I really hope they don't do it this way, but they could make all the cards an RNG drop chance from just enemies in the overworld. Because, like, one thing I hear people say a lot is that they don't have incentive to, like, run around and kill stuff and just, like, you know, just, like, go pick more mint or whatever. And I can understand that there's, like, after you clear all the initial big rewards, there's nothing, you know, there's no primo incentive to go out and, like, farm mobs, right, in the overworld. If they made all the mobs have a chance to drop cards, and like, let's say you can refine the cards or something stupid. So like you could go out, there's 100 cards. You need at least 3 of every card. Like you need 3 of a card to max it out, let's assume. So, you know, that's like 300 cards. And then you're going to be farming like RNG drop chances. So essentially it'll be like a farm that never ends, because they're going to assumedly they'll be adding more cards all the time. So even if you farmed all the cards to max, you know, they'll add more, and then you're gonna have less of a chance of getting those new cards because you have so many of the old cards. So it keeps it like, it gives you a constant reason to actually fight things. Character friendship levels, giving strong rare cards. That's a really good idea. Yeah, friendship levels, like if you max out your friendship level with a character, you should just get like a copy of their card for free. Like, let's say you need 3 to max it out, so you grab the card from their friendship, and that's already the first one. I think they need to reduce Resin. Yeah, I think it's getting to the point where, like, we might see something soon with Resin, because we're about to get a new set of world bosses, and the last time we got Resin changes was when they released the first Inazuma world boss, or weekly boss, I mean, sorry. When they released the first weekly boss in Inazuma was when they did that thing where they were like, they cut the Resin cost. At least I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that was when they released, when we went to Inazuma. It might have been before that, slightly. But either way, we're gonna get a new set of weekly bosses, so there's a chance that they'll extend like the buff we already get for weekly bosses. Maybe they'll extend it to 5, or we get a higher cap or something. Like literally anything would be good. If they make weekly bosses free, that entice more playtime, so it's a win-win. Yes and no, because like, how long does it really take to fight all the weekly bosses? I would say maybe if you're an average player and you just go and fight them one after another, it'd probably take you maybe 20-30 minutes to fight all of them. Like, it doesn't take me very long to do my weekly bosses. Like, I don't know if that really adds a lot of game time. It does add game time though. You know what I mean? I don't know what they'll do with Resin, because like, we don't have a pattern of behavior. With a lot of things now, we've seen enough of it to know, like, oh, we've had enough banners to kind of know what's going on with the banner cycles and stuff like that. We know what's going on with the shop rotation. We know what's going on with a lot of stuff. Hey, I found this stupid flower. Holy crap. I still haven't killed this stupid thing. That's so funny. Oh yeah, I gotta... Yeah, that's right. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That was dumb. Ow. Well, that guy's got a tough... He's got a... Okay, let me get close. Okay, let me... Wait, what? I just broke your stupid thing. Oh my god, no I didn't. Jeez, oh lord. Alright. Now I'm gonna kill it. Dumb flower. I think when Genshin removes Resin system, like totally removing it from the game, it would be so fun for a week and then it'll become a dead game after a dead game after that. I agree 100%. 100%. Time gating sucks, but it also like, it's one of those situations where literally you think you want it but you don't. And there's a lot of that in gaming nowadays, where like gamers think they want something. Like, you ask a gamer and they're like, I want a game where I can play 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and never run out of content, and I don't have to eat, or go to the bathroom because there's so much dopamine flooding into my brain that I forget that I have a physical existence on this earth. And then I just, you know, that's it. And it's like, you think you want that, but you really don't. Like, you don't. Okay, guys, can you stop moving? There we go. There we go. I like how even when I miss with Tignari, I can still do damage. I think these are my least favorite of the fungi enemies. I really dislike these dudes, these little spinny top guys, because they're so freaking annoying. They just move around so much. I knew that they were going to add a bunch of tiny enemies in Sumeru, and so that it would add more relevancy to CC units. Ow. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck. I'm literally stuck. Oh gosh. Okay. I like how I said I'm literally stuck as I get out of it. Are you gonna do that again? This guy is vicious. Dude. I just got knocked out of the buff. These fungi are so annoying, they don't just sit there and let me kill them. Yes, exactly. The reason Genshin is successful because it is time gated and doesn't have an overwhelming amount of content. There are a lot of MMOs that are hard to play because you have to dedicate so much time. Yes, actually, you know what? That's one of the videos that I'm gonna make soon. Let me make sure I have that written down. Hold on. Bloat is bad. Cool, I just wrote that in. Okay, so you guys know, if you've been watching my content, that I've been playing Tower of Fantasy since it came out. And one of the things that I find the most annoying about Tower of Fantasy is how much daily grind there is for basically the same reward that you would get in Genshin. Like, to do your dailies in Genshin, you know how like the daily system in Genshin is so streamlined and it's separate from pretty much everything else you do. So you go do your dailies, it takes like 10, 15 minutes. Anyone can do that. Anyone can get that done. It's pretty easy, you know, unless you just don't feel like doing it. Like, honestly, like that's the excuse in Genshin and for not doing your dailies. It's not like, oh, I didn't have time, there's too much to do. It's like, oh, I just didn't really feel like it. But with Tower of Fantasy, like, okay, I'm gonna tell you everything that I have to do on a daily basis for Tower of Fantasy. You get on, you do your daily bounties, which are like your daily commissions, and then you do your you spend your Mia's kitchen, however much that is, which is just basically clicking a button and watching the robot lady like girl thing like feed you stuff, like give you food, and then you go and you do your like stamina spending. You go get your free gifts from the black market and you play this claw machine 3 times, and then you, well, at least I do this, you farm these things called support points. Because here's the thing, if you're free to play on Tower of Fantasy and you don't farm support points, you don't have enough gold to upgrade your materials and upgrade your weapons and stuff like that. And so you have to farm support points. You can farm 1,500 support points a day, and you get 150 support points every time you run a mission without vitality. So like the missions that take vitality or stamina or resin or whatever you want to call it, you can run them when you're out of vitality and it gives you support points, which seems like a really cool thing at first until you realize that the way that you farm them is by running the lowest difficulty missions 10 times in a row every single day, which is, you know, 70 times a week. And yeah, there's also Wormhole, which resets every like 5 days. There's Bygone Phantasm that resets weekly, and then Bygone Phantasm has a separate Phantasm It's like Spiral Abyss with an extra Spiral Abyss that's just came out. And then there's also this thing called Frontier Clash and Void Rifts, and those you get one attempt for those every day except for the weekend, like Sundays. So you'll get a Void Rift attempt, and then you get a Frontier Clash attempt, and then you get a Void Rift attempt, like on a daily basis. And you got to run those with people. And then they just added raids, and then they just added the artificial island, which is the housing system. Except literally all it is you just click the claim button to collect your rewards, and then you run around a map and you kill enemies, which are just like, this is just like the same thing that you've been doing. And then there's more. Robot girl feeding you. Now I need to play that game. Yeah, it's very grindy, and like the rewards you get for doing these things are very small. It's not like you're getting like a ton of stuff for this daily grind. It's like the necessary grind to keep up with the game. And I think that that's the issue with a lot of these like MMO style grindy long-term progression games, is that they get very bloated. You end up with a game that requires not like optional, like requires 2 hours a day to keep up. And that sounds awesome at first, like when you're loving the game and you're enjoying every second of it. You can do that with Amber. Do what with Amber? If you're talking about shooting the foot, it's her C2. Let me show you. Her C2, hitting Baron Bunny's foot with a fully charged aim shot detonates it for 200% additional damage. Yeah. Yeah, there's this really, if you want to get good with Amber, what I like to do with her is you drop both bunnies, and then you back up and you aim right between the feet. And as long as you have the one constellation where, there we go. See, I blew up both of them. And you can do some chonky vapes with it and stuff too. Amber cons are really good. Yeah, Amber cons are very good. She's my favorite starter because she's really useful as a support, especially later on when you have constellations on her. But yeah, that's enough about Tower Fantasy. I was just basically saying that like the grind seems fun until it's not. You know what I mean? I should do these ley lines before I forget. That is absolutely why I came over here in the first place. And then I saw that strange bouncy mushroom thing, and I was like, I must investigate. And then I just wandered around for quite a long time there. For quite a long time. I somehow have her C4 and just like to show off her booms and co-ops and watch everyone be surprised. Nice. It's kind of tricky to learn how to do the, like to put them both down and blow them up. It took me a little bit to get the aim down because you have to aim like at a very specific point, like right there. But it's very consistent. Like once you learn how to do it, it's really consistent. And you can do some, you can hit some big numbers. Like the only downside to leaving resin capped is that your characters won't progress, sure, but you're not left behind. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's a big thing with Genshin that I actually appreciate, is that the power cap for characters hasn't changed in a long time. In a lot of games, there's this constant uphill like I don't know what to call it. It's like a progression treadmill, I guess is what you call it. So basically, you are making your characters get stronger so that they can tackle harder content, so that they can get stronger so that they can tackle harder content. In my opinion, you should only do that a couple times before you max out on your character's power, and then you're just dealing with skill-based progression. But in a lot of games, what they'll do is they rely on that. They rely on that false progression, like that progression ladder with gear rather than skill. So like every time a new raid comes out, or every time a new boss comes out, or every time a new thing comes out, they raise the level cap, or they give you a new set of armor that's even better than your old set of armor, or they give you something else that just increases your stats. But that means that if you don't play the game continuously, you're never going to be at the power level you need to be to participate with the game. Whereas with Genshin, if you built Hu Tao really well last year, you could log onto your account today and your Hu Tao would still smash Abyss. Like, as long as she's well built, obviously. Like, the point being that in a lot of games you can't do that. You can't just build a character and then stop and then come back. Like, you have to constantly farm and devote resources to that character to keep them even relevant, which is just insane. Jumps into convo, thinks of Elsword. Oh, is Elsword like that? I don't know anything about that one. I'm curious, can Amber and Zhongling's constellations skill be put down? Wait, can Amber and Zhongling's skill be put down on the same rotation? Yeah, you mean Guoba and the Baron Bunnies? Yeah, you can put them down at the same time. Can you guys jump? Jump! Jump, jump! Okay, fine. I'll just hit you with the pyro and then hit you with the overloads, because I know you guys love those. All right. Dante, welcome, welcome. Haley, welcome, welcome. Exhausted Axolotl, welcome, welcome. Welcome, guys. We are farming primos, but first, I'm doing the leyline overflow, like a good Genshin player. Gosen Kun, welcome. If you guys don't mind dropping likes, don't forget. Help get us to 25 likes so we can give Freddy some delicious catnip for him. He would love it, I would love it, you would love it. Everybody loves it. Also, another really good thing about learning how to do that trick with Amber is that it makes her fantastic as a wow, I didn't even need Tighnari for that. Oh my gosh, I can't talk while I'm fighting. So, if you drop a Baron Bunny and you do that tech where you shoot it and blow it up, you get energy. I mean, you guys saw my burst was empty. I blew up both those Baron Bunnies. You get like 10 particles. It's insane. It's a lot of energy. Greetings, yeah, and you farm, spend months refining gear, but new stuff with more power comes out later. Yes, yes. Like, I remember, okay, this is embarrassing to admit. I played Destiny when it came out. Now, I'll just say this. I was one of those people, when Destiny came out, I was super mad. I was so mad. I was not one of the people that tried to apologize for the absolute terror that was that game when it came out. But, why is that relevant? Oh, yeah, every time they came out with new content, what they would do is they would make the raid gear available in the shop. Like, that you could just like buy it just for like nothing, like no effort. And so like the gear that you were trying your best to farm is now the gear that everyone starts with. Which it's like, why even try? Like, why get the gear? Oh god, that kind of stuff makes me crazy. I really dislike it when game developers do stuff like that, because it just destroys your willpower to want to Destiny 4 flashbacks. Yeah, exactly. The reason Destiny made me so mad was because the gunplay and everything felt really good. The game was really fun and it felt good to play, but there was just literally nothing to do. Nothing. The game about nothing. They had so much good potential too. Like, the lore they had written out was really good, and then they just cut all the story content because I guess what is this? Oh my oh, poor guy. I feel so bad. Here, we gotta take him out of his misery. Don't worry, buddy. It's all gonna be ogre soon. And now the bear and bunnies will dance on your grave. Hey Glitch. Gosh, I love Destiny, but I how they had to ruin it with 1,000 DLC. You're sour to this. Yeah. Yeah, I had a friend that was like, into Destiny that actually enjoyed it or whatever. Like, kept playing it and bought all the DLCs. I think the full game ended up costing him like $200. Yeah. Oh boy. Who am I currently farming for? I'm farming for, I think, don't I have it in the title? I'm farming for Cyno and Candace. Yeah, it's in there. It's probably just too long to see it. I was over here the other day. Actually, I don't need to be over here. I've done that. You were that person also? I bought the first DLC for Destiny, and then I was hoping that the first DLC would, like, I don't know, save the game or something. And then when I bought the first DLC and it was just a big lot of nothing, I was like, I can't do this. This is like, the raids were fun too. Like, the raids were fun in the game. It's, you got nothing else. You know, you can't build a game entirely on raids. You just can't do it. I mean, you can, but it's not a good idea. 200 bucks, that's like one limited character. If you get lucky, that is. Yeah. What's the point of these being right here? These are to refill your stamina, right? It makes me feel like I'm gonna need to sprint out of here. And these are to make sure that I can sprint out of here. The raids and combat were so great and the story was amazing, but they just chose to say screw the story. Yeah. So the thing that made me the most mad about Destiny was that when the game came out, some developer leaked information that they had like different openings for every race and all of this deep lore. And like literally what they did is they cut everything after the first chapter, and the first chapter end boss was like the end of the game. And that, just knowing that the business executives were just like, looks like a great story you got here. Let's just get rid of all of it. I could not, oh. I should have seen that coming. That was one of those coulda, shoulda, woulda moments. Where it's like, I don't know why I thought that was gonna work out. Amber murder. Technically, she disappeared. Freddy is meowing at me too. Can you guys understand the stress of this situation? Freddy wants attention. Amber's dead. Well, not dead anymore, but you know, it's just like, it's a lot. There's a lot on my plate right now. And the stress of it is immense, guys. Okay, die now. Thank you. Oh, there's stuff under there. Freddy. Oh my gosh, you want to come up here? Good boy. A short right there. Welcome, Zach. What was the short? Oh, the Amber dying? That would be a good one. If you guys watch anything on my streams, and I have a couple things, I guess, to like not announce, but just chat about real quick. If you guys find like clips that you like from my streams, just clip them and DM them to me so that it's easier for me to find them and make a short out of it. Because watching my own streams back takes so long, and I just don't even really have the time to do it. So it's really hard for me to make shorts. But it would mean a lot if you guys would do that. It would be like if Genshin only had the content of Spiral Abyss and world bosses once every patch dropped, a little bit of story, like 10 minutes worth. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it would be like. It'd be like dropping Genshin Impact and you literally play up, not even through the whole Mondstadt story, you play up until the point where like you fight Dvalin for the first time, and then it would just, that would be the end. And end game, go to Spiral Abyss. That's all you get forever. That's the entire game. I feel like Destiny was even smaller than that. It was crazy. I was shocked at how small that game was. Absolutely shocked. Let's see here. Let's see here. What else? There's something else I was going to talk about. But I can't remember what it was. It was something to do with something. I think it might have been important too. I don't know. Oh, I'm planning on doing a collaboration thingy. I guess I can talk about this now because it's pretty much official, I guess. Like we have the dates, tentative dates down. I've been talking with Final Flame. Okay, Freddy, get down now, buddy. I've been talking with Final Flame, and he messaged me and was basically talking about how he wants to start like an annual Genshin content creator podcast where it's like maybe once or twice a year we try to get a bunch of content creators together and we have like a big podcast where we all just like chat about stuff. The fun part would be that we're gonna like the idea is to host it on a different channel every year, so like we can spread the publicity of it, or you know what I mean. Like if someone goes through and watches a playlist of it, it would be from all of our channels, so they could just like go through and subscribe as they watch or whatever, and it would give it would just be a cool way to bring content creators together. I really appreciate Final Flame for reaching out to me about that because that is such a good idea. I think that would be super good for the community. Reconnection successful. I'm watching my stream preview right now. Oh, I think it's... Wait, hold on. I gotta check. I gotta like wave. No, I'm watching the preview. No, your network didn't die. My stream died. OBS just popped up and was like, sorry, pal. I just disconnected. And then like 2 seconds later, it was like, oh, I just reconnected. I have no idea what happened. My internet didn't go down or anything. That's so weird. OBS being funky. Anyway. The point of that whole conversation was we're hosting the first content creator podcast thing on my channel. The goal is to do it next month. Oh my gosh. So that'll be October. It'll either be the 22nd or the 29th. We haven't settled. Like, it's going to be one of those days. We haven't settled on a day yet. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Keep burping. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good time. We've already asked quite a few content creators. We're still waiting on hearing back from some people. Some people are obviously unsure. You know? But we're hoping to have like 10 content creators at least. It's gonna be very casual. Very casual. Like, the point is to show everyone sort of that, like, you know, we can all have different opinions about the game. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to be so divisive. We don't need to be so divided. We don't need to be so worried about everyone's minuscule, insy bitsy tiny little opinion on every little thing. Like, I swear sometimes with content creators it's just it's really weird how people associate with content creators. They'll be like, my man, my content creator, my streamer. And then you like have one bad take and they'll be like, you're not my streamer, not my content creator. You know what I mean? It's oh, how quickly the tides will turn. I just had a really weird deja vu. Like, super weird deja vu. What do I think about leaderboards in Spiral of Abyss? Does it make Genshin pay to win? I mean, as long as there's no rewards for it, I don't think it's pay to win. I don't see what the point of it is, though. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of leaderboards in Spiral of Abyss? I don't know. Like, it just seems like a useless add-on. You know what I mean? I'm almost proud of them for not doing that, because it's just like, it's just a way to make people feel like they should wail to beat that one guy or whatever. Like, oh, this one dude's only 2 seconds ahead of me. If I just wailed a little harder, I could, you know what I mean? And like the fact that they don't do that, I think is a good thing. You know, you don't know how other people are doing on the Spiral Abyss, so you're not as worried about it. You just want to get your primos, and I think that's how it should be. Can I show where I am on the map? I'm right here. Gonda Hill. Well, I don't want to go back over there. I was just over there. Oh, that scared me. Dory, thanks for the sub. I can't remember what to do with those. That mushroom was suspicious over there. Very suspicious indeed. Played a song. I don't know if I have the right music for it. I probably don't have. I only have like one song. I haven't finished my R&R quest yet. Yeah, you guys don't have to, don't tell me how to solve puzzles, please. I prefer to just not know, because then when I figure it out, it makes me feel good. And if I get told how to do it, it completely ruins it for me. It makes me feel like I didn't figure anything out. And it's like, oh, I just looked it up online. You don't have to delete it. I mean, I already saw it. You know what I mean? Like, it's too late. Water puddle inside the cave sometimes annoys me. That's funny. Again, you don't, it's too late. You don't have to delete them. I'm just saying. You know, that's actually another video that I'm gonna make soon. Did I have this one written down? Let me check. Stop looking up guides. That's gonna be an entire video. I'm gonna make a guide on how to stop looking up guides. Because guides are destroying gaming. And you cannot convince me otherwise. Like, the point of game, like, in my opinion, the point of playing a game and being immersed and enjoying yourself is the art of play, right? Like, you are playing a video game to play, to have fun, you know, all that stuff. When you min-max and you look up guides for everything and you come up with the most optimal path, the most efficient method, and you just look up guides on everything, there's no challenge. Like, it's like connect the dots. You know what I mean? Instead of playing a video game, you're now playing connect the dots, where like someone is telling you what to do and all you are doing is following through the motions. You're not doing anything out of any original, like, thought or idea of your own. It's literally like, oh, so and so told me I need to do this, so I'm gonna do this. Maybe for some people, but if I don't progress in a game, I don't want to be stuck for 2 hours, because I'm bad at puzzles. I only use guides when I really get on frustration and I can't figure it out. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's totally different. If you're stuck for 2 hours on a puzzle and you're frustrated and you want to solve it, that's what guides are for. That is exactly the situation where you should use a guide. But what I constantly see nowadays, people will go to the interactive map and they will path out like the most optimal way to farm chests, or they will just approach a puzzle, not even try to solve it, and then look it up immediately and then solve it. Like that, that's how you feel dead inside. That's how you, I mean, there's no joy in that. You know what I mean? I feel like gaming, the joy of gaming is going from point A to B and not knowing what that journey is going to be like. Because when you've beaten a game, when you've gotten from A to B, the game is over. So if you watch a guide that tells you step by step what the journey is from A to B, every single thing, every single challenge, every single question that you have, then why play the game? Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Now, again, if you're stuck, like, I think there's, I'm not, it sounds really clickbaity, right? Like the whole title of like guides are destroying game. I'm probably not going to pick something that clickbaity. I'm probably going to try to make the video more humorous. I'm thinking more along the lines of like a guide on how to not watch guides, you know? Like, I think that would be funny. It's like, hey guys, I'm coming to you with you today with the 3 best tips on how to not watch guides. Something stupid like that. Like, make it a parody of guide videos just to show how I usually don't look at guides till I've done it myself, at least attempted it. I look at guides at Dark Souls and Elden Ring, but only after I've had my own blind playthrough first. Yeah. Cause, you know, really, like, when MMO gamers are complaining about the glory days of MMOs, the reason why those games felt so massive and the reason why those games felt so impressive was because we didn't know diddly squat about it. Like, the first time I booted up any MMORPG, I had like virtually no idea what I was doing or like what was going on or anything. And that was kind of the joy of it, I think. The joy of discovery. It's a big brand new world. But when you take the discovery out of it, you just have a big world. You know what I mean? And that doesn't sound fun, that sounds arduous. What about lore crafters? If you're talking about lore, like story, I think lore is great. And if you're talking about theory crafters, like number crunchers, like people that are doing math for meta, for Genshin, I think that theory crafting is a thing that should be done. But I think that people, because they rely on guides a lot, they like, I don't think people would run the meta teams as often as they do if guides, like if people weren't telling them that they were the meta teams. Like if guides didn't exist and people weren't getting told what to do all the time, I'm sure people would still know that Ganyu is strong. And I'm sure people would still know that like Hu Tao is strong, but you would probably see a lot more variation in the team comps that people build. See you later, Ash. You're gonna go be productive? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. So, my train of thought derailed. If you play Guild Wars 2, you definitely need a guide when you want to craft a legendary weapon. That's a huge task. Hey, Kamikaze, what's up, my friend? You're back playing Genshin? Very late to my battle pass. You're trying to catch up. Good luck. I hope you're still able to get most, if not all, of the rewards from that. Without guides, nobody would know how to use Tartaglia. Oh, gosh. I hate that mindset, though. he's not that complicated. And I think that's another thing. Like, because someone has gone through the effort to make a guide video on something, people often immediately have this like, oh, there's a whole video about this. It must be really complicated, or it must be really difficult. And I don't think it is. Would people understand Tartaglia immediately? Like, would they pull him in day one? Would they have perfect knowledge on how to build him and his artifacts and all his other stuff? No. But the thing that they would have is an entire journey getting to know Tartaglia, getting to learn these things themselves with trial and error, by playing around with him, experimenting with him, and by figuring out these things themselves. Like, I have all of these opinions that are contrary to what people say. Like, I say Xinyan is a good unit. Why do I say Xinyan is a good unit? Because I freaking build Xinyan and I tried her out myself, and I didn't watch a bunch of guides on how to build her. I just started from the ground up. I just thought, okay, she scales off defense, attack. Okay, that's cool. She needs some ER. Oh, wait, I'm going to run her with Raiden. I don't need that much ER. Okay, she has this one constellation that gives her 100% crit rate on her burst, so I don't need to build crit rate. Oh, that solves my stat balancing problem. Now I can actually balance my stats properly and get a chonky shield and get all this stuff. And did that take time, and did that take trial and effort? Yes, it did. But that's what made it so satisfying. That's what made it so fun to learn how to utilize this character, because I didn't know how. You know what I mean? I don't know if any of this is making sense. I don't know if this is making sense. Is this making sense to people? Do people understand what I'm getting at here? Are people picking up what I'm putting down? Genshin character ranks need to be stopped. I do think that ranking characters is a little bit pointless. Not pointless, but like, there are so many differences between the characters as far as like the roles that they fulfill and the things that they do, that it's like, I could understand if there were like 3 Ganyus that were copy pasted, like Ganyu 1, Ganyu with red hair, Ganyu, you know, with whatever. It, like, because a lot of gacha games do that, right? They just like copy paste things that work well and change them a little bit. But they don't do that in Genshin, so it's really hard to compare units. Like, people compare, you know, healers to DPSs, and it breaks my brain. It just breaks my brain. It's like, what are you doing? Like, they don't do the same thing, and I don't know how do you compare the usefulness? Like, this is my biggest issue with theory crafters. I'll just say it flat out. My biggest issue with theory crafters is that all theory crafting is generally focused around DPS, and the idea is you want as little utility as you can get away with, and from there you just ramp as much damage as possible. So like, if you don't quote unquote need healing, it's a waste. But that's not realistic for a lot of gamers. You know what I mean? Like, people want healing, people need healing, and you could argue that you don't need it because you can just dodge, or you could do so much damage that everything dies. But how do you qualify the value of a certain amount of healing versus a certain amount of damage? It's just, I think it's more complicated than so-and-so does more damage than so-and-so. I think it's way more complicated than that. And I think that sometimes theory crafters reduce everything down to, so-and-so does 156,000 damage. So-and-so does, this other character does 226,000 damage. Character B is better. And it's like, it's not that simple. It's just not. Whew. Yes, there is something romantic about experiencing the fresh way without a guide. When I came back or visit the area again, I feel nostalgia flashback again. Exactly, me too. Like, my first time exploring an area, after I come back later, like I get that nostalgia feeling of like, oh, the first time I came through here. And you get specific memories that are tied to your particular experience with the video game. But if you follow a guide, you're just like, I'll jump off that topic. I'll hop off of that. I've been going on about that forever, but that's obviously going to be a video that I record, and I hope that you guys enjoy watching it and stuffs and things. You know how it is. It's just numbers. The most important thing is you love the characters and how they fight. Exactly. And I am very grateful that this is the kind of game where that is possible. You know what I mean? Like, I've been playing games for a long time, and this is probably one of the best balanced games I've ever played. Like, ever. Literally ever. And, you know, that's not like hyperbole or like just mean grandstanding or whatever. Like, that's just real. Like, this game is really well balanced. The fact, in most RPGs, like, literally, if you played MMORPGs in the 2000s, you had to look up your character before you started playing to make sure that your character was viable in the game that you were about to play. Because you could just pick a class and then play for 100 hours and then look up a guide, and then they'll be like, oh, by the way, this class is entirely useless. Like, there is another class. Like, it's not like the class is slightly weaker than another class. It's like, this class does what this class does, but better. Like, flat out better. And that's how games were for a long time. So the fact that they've worked it around to a point where balance is maintained, and it's really about the aesthetics, about the gameplay, about the personality, the voice actor, all those other things, I think is beneficial because it incentivizes them to make characters have better backstories, better voice lines, better personalities, better aesthetics, which makes the characters more likable. And who doesn't want that? Seeing you go through the map like this really makes me wish we had an underground map. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of going all over the place, aren't I? I was going over to, I think I'm done with the ley lines, but yeah. Oh, Zajev kind of talked about it in his last stream. He mentioned how TCs want to talk about fun and non-optimal stuff, but their audience don't want to know about it, and they have to cater to their audience. Yes and no. Yes and no. Like, okay. Look. I gotta go full screen for this. If you make a bunch of videos that say, this is the optimal thing to do, you have to do it like this. If you pull this unit, your account's wasted because this unit's meta. Like, if you make videos that are that dramatic, that have that kind of tone, and then you expect your audience to care about non-meta stuff, like, you just spent the past year and a half telling your audience that, like, oh, wait until I do the math because maybe this character's gonna suck. Maybe they're gonna be useless. Oh, but maybe you should get this character. Oh, what about this character C1? Oh, but if you do this weapon instead of that weapon, but then if you change this up, you'll actually get 20% more damage. You just spent a year and a half talking like that to your audience. And then you want to be like, yo, guys, that 20% extra damage, who cares? Who cares? Double healer teams, woo! Bloom meta, woo! Like, of course they're not gonna care. You have trained your audience to not care. You have literally farmed your audience to believe that the only thing that matters is meta. I genuinely believe that content creators are responsible for not what their people do, not like the viewers what they do. It's not like it's not like if I say something and then someone goes and starts playing Genshin Impact and they gamble all their money away. Like, I've never said that anyone should gamble. Like, I've never said that anyone should whale. So, like, I don't feel responsible if someone starts playing this game and they waste their money. If someone does that, that's your own fault. I'm sorry. Like, you need to have impulse control and know what's right and wrong for you. But that being said, I do think that content creators have a responsibility with the tone and the way that they use their platform to represent things. How do if you guys see clip material, you know, clip it, send it to me, DM it to me. There should be a clip function, I think, on my videos or on my streams or whatever. Okay, I'll give you an example. there are content. I won't name names. I am thinking of a specific content creator right now. There is absolutely one person in my mind right now, but I won't name the name. Instead, I'll just talk about it in this vague, roundabout way, and you'll probably know what I mean anyway. But there's one content creator. There are content creators. Sorry, there are content creators that farm drama. They farm drama. They love to get that drama click. You know, they want people to be mad at them so that they can get the drama farm going. But then they get mad or bothered or upset when people come at them with drama all the time. Like, they farm drama constantly in their videos, like, this is so stupid, this guy's an idiot, blah, 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 blah. And then they get attacked and they're like, this is so unfair, I can't believe it. It's like the hypocrisy is unreal. It's like you have to, or like people that farm drama, this is a more apt example. People that farm drama and then their audience is a bunch of assholes, a bunch of jerks. Like everyone in their audience is super mean. Like, well, duh. You farm petty content. You attract petty people. And not only are you attracting petty people, but you are signal boosting petty people. You are making it seem like it's cool to be angry, petty, and dumb online. And I just think that's irresponsible. I don't think that's like a responsible use of your platform. And if you are mad by the consequences of your own actions, if the consequences of your own actions bother you, I'm sorry, but that's just real. Like, honestly, I was so much more worried about trolls than I should have been. Like, there are people that comment on my videos. Lay, let me on to rant with you. Lay, I don't know if I can do that. You are shot out of a cannon sometimes. And I don't know if stream can handle it. I don't know if my monetization can handle you. I'm already like teetering on the edge of like, I don't know, just popping off, shooting out of a cannon. I wish I was on The Secret, but I guess I stayed away from this content creator. Well, that's good. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, I'll be nice. I got Freddy's cat hair stuck in my mouth. Oh boy. Shit, Lay. I'll let we can chat. Just I want to keep my monetization. That's the only thing. So let's just keep that in mind. Where you at? Do you want me to just call you on Discord? Oh, there you are. Hello?
Oh.
Hi. Say something else. Let me.
Can chat hear me?
Yeah, it should be good.
Okay. This is this is like the funniest shit. I'm so sorry. This is the best thing ever, Flo, because I was actually ranting the same time you were ranting, and Dante was like, "Oh my god, you're both ranting at the same time," and I was like, "Okay, let me come and join the fun."
Were you ranting about the same thing that I was ranting about?
Exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's like, I just can't understand how people that behave so toxically can be surprised that everyone around them is toxic. It's like, big surprise.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. Dante said you were saying that the meta people have brainwashed others into thinking other units are bad and like useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree. They're not going to name names, but there are definitely a few channels that have done that.
Yeah, like, and to point at the specifics, that the specific thing that they do, and I don't think content creators realize this, but a lot of content creators use exaggerated language. Like, I noticed this, I was watching someone's Tower of Fantasy content, and I won't name names, but they were like, we have so much amazing stuff, so much interesting information, so much incredible news to share with you today. And it's like, okay, it's really not that great. Like, it's just some news, right? It's just news, but it has to be amazing. It has to be incredible. It has to be fantastic, or else it's not good enough. And so I think when meta theory crafters, like, I wanted to make a video about this, but I still hadn't like collected my thoughts. I think I'm kind of getting closer to like the point of it, where it's like, it's really the language that they use. Theory crafters will make a video that's like, you got to be so careful. If you're not careful with your primos, you're going to ruin your account. You know, like I was talking earlier with that like dramatic language. And then they're like, oh, this is so important. This is the most important thing. I'm so important. This is incredibly, amazingly important. And then they're like mad that people are super focused on that. You know, it's like I was saying, they train their viewers to view it as this life or death situation. And I can understand why. It's almost like PTSD with a gacha, because old gacha games were like that. And that's why I can understand some of these content creators are like stuck in the past. They played old gacha games where if you weren't really careful and you didn't wait and see and let theory crafters do stuff, you could pull a useless unit. But I think that like we've entered a more, I don't know if you want to call it a modern era of gacha. That sounds so stupid, but like, you know what I mean? Like we just don't have to worry about that stuff as much anymore.
Yeah, I've been playing gachas for almost 10 years, man. I can tell you I've been on the dark side of the gachas.
Yeah, tell me about it, because you know way more about it than I do. I've only played like newer gachas.
There were some games I played where you know how free-to-plays in Genshin will complain that they can only get a 5-star like every other patch, guaranteed.
Yeah.
But in other gacha games, the equivalent to a 5-star, whether it was an ultra rare or super rare, whatever the game was, if you were free to play, you're looking at maybe 2 5-stars a year.
Oh man.
Like, it was rough, man. It was super rough. Like when Fate Grand Order first came out, oh my god. I had saved up thousands upon thousands of the currency. And then finally the character I wanted came out. And I didn't even make it halfway. Like, I didn't even make it halfway, and I'd saved for months.
Oh my
months.
god.
Like Fate Grand Order is a little bit better now, but it's still not as, you know, lenient as Genshin is. But yeah, gachas used to be dark, and maybe some of these content creators have been on the dark side, so they're sharing their past. But Genshin isn't like that.
Yeah. Like the market's kind of changed, you know. It's like I don't feel too bad naming this name, but it's like Matt Jestick, you know. It's like I feel like he's one of those older gacha gamers where it's like they got to know every detail. They need every primogem. They need, like, you know what I mean? It's like it's a little bit ridiculous now. It's like back in the day that's just what you had to do, but now it's like it's way more chill than that. And I think some people are like having like old gacha war flashbacks from like FGO, like you just described, and they just don't know how to let go of it.
And like back then, if you had friends who played the same gacha with you, old school gacha, if you all wanted the same unit, or like half of your group wanted the same unit, and only 1 or 2 of you got it, the jealousy, the amount of jealousy and rage that would just spread amongst the group.
Right.
Like what the heck, man? Like, I saved just as long as you. No, I saved even longer. How come I couldn't get it?
Yeah.
And I was actually talking about Raiden when Dante mentioned that you were ranting. I was just, you know, talking about the Raiden situation, how a lot of TCers were saying like, oh, Raiden's not that good because she doesn't work with Beto. 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 It's like, dear Lord, do you know there's more characters in this game than just Beto, right?
I know. And the funny thing is that you actually still can use them together. It's just that you have to use Raiden's burst on Beto's burst's cooldown.
Yeah, but
Like that's
still,
it, you know? Like
it kind of threw me off because I was like, wait, there's like 50 characters in this game. Why are you only stuck on one?
yeah, well, it's because the reason why is because that was the meta. Before they changed it, that was going to be the new meta. And everyone, all the theory crafters that looked at leaks knew it. And I think it worked in the beta too. So they knew that it was insane. They knew that it was going to be super duper busted. And all these content creators were lining up to drop their C2 Raiden Beto Insta Giga Chad flip meta insane video. And then they all had to cancel their videos because it got changed.
And you know, the only reason it got changed is because they changed Raiden's ult to work with Emblem. Because pre-beta, Raiden's ult was not working with Emblem. So, and then Mihoyo realized, like, oh crap, like this is supposed to be Raiden's set. So we got to change Raiden's burst. And when they changed Raiden's burst, her burst no longer counted as normal attacks. It counted as burst damage. And it has to be normal attacks to work with Beto. So the moment they changed Raiden's ult to work with Emblem, it screwed over Beto.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, you know, I think it's better anyway because, like, if you think about the rotations, Beto's burst is like 15 seconds, Raiden's burst is 7 seconds. Like, that just doesn't fit well with the team rotation, I don't think. In my personal opinion.
Yeah, but it's more like I just kept hearing she sucks because she doesn't work with Beto. She don't work with Beto. Don't pull her because her and Beto can't coexist. And I'm just, what the world, bro? Like,
yeah, like as if Raiden needed Beto to literally function.
It's like, first off, she literally dropped with her best in slot support, Sarah.
Yeah.
What about? They literally made a 4-star character just for Raiden.
Yeah, I mean, people are wild.
And like, I get some of the arguments, but I know you like to defend Jin Yan a lot, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And Jin Yan has literally been called Amber tier, and I've seen tier lists where they've put Amber out of Amber tier, but put Jin Yan into Amber tier. Instead of changing to Jin Yan tier, they keep it as Amber tier, and I'm just like, what? But like a lot of your points in your shorts and videos, like Jin Yan can actually be a decent unit if you put some time and care into her. Every character can. Like,
yeah.
Why is everybody just stuck on this one thing? Yeah. And like, I consider myself more hardcore and meta, but at the same time, if someone likes Jin Yan, I'm not gonna be like, oh well, guess what? Jin Yan sucks. Don't use her. I'm be like, oh, you like Jin Yan? Okay, here's the best team you could probably build with her with what you got on your account. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You gotta work with what you have.
Exactly. And the reason this ties, look, I'm gonna take this full circle. This ties all the way back to the guide conversation. I don't know if you were listening to me when I was ranting about guides and how they're destroying gaming, but the people, when they don't develop their own opinion, they play telephone with other people's opinions. So if someone watches a guide and that guide or tier list or whatever says this character is bad, they're not terrible, but they're bad, they're down here, someone is going to watch that video, and because they don't have any personal experience, they're watching the guide, they're going to just take that opinion and they're going to go to their friends and say, hey, I heard Xinyan sucks. And then their friend's going to go to their other friend and say, hey, I heard Xinyan is terrible, like worst character in the game. And it just keeps getting worse and worse like that. Like the original point was this character's bad, which I disagree with. I think the character is a good character, but like someone may say this character's bad, and then it's going to telephone from person to person. It's going to go from bad to sucks to the worst character into the game to literally broken in a bad way, like all these things. And they just become like exaggerations after exaggeration. Like I even had someone comment on my Xinyan video that I put out, where my Xinyan video where it's like Xignon is a good character and I have the math to prove it. They said, sure, your Xignon is doing a great job, but how much investment does that take? It takes insane amounts of investment. And I said, look, all you need for Xignon to work the same way that I'm using her is C2, a 2-piece husk, a 2-piece emblem or 2-piece pale flame, or like literally just 2-piece sets. And then like sacrificial greatsword or Favonia's greatsword, or like she works with a ton of greatswords. So there's tons of options. She doesn't take that much talent investment. You only have to level up her skill and her burst. You don't have to level up her auto attack.
The number one argument for me that has been in the Genshin community ever since Ganyu's first ever banner, the number one dumbest argument that still happens till this day, hands down, is when someone will showcase a character, whether it's on, a short on TikTok or YouTube or a YouTube video. Let's just say, example I saw when Yoimiya first came out. This has been happening ever since Ganyu's first banner, but Yoimiya, especially, people were showcasing how good their Yoimiya was. And the number one insult people like to always throw is, that's not Yoimiya, that's the supports doing all the work. And I'm like, wait a minute. The supports help your Ganyu and Ayaka too. What are you talking about? You think they're just a one-man wrecking machine?
Yeah, right.
It's literally support impact. What kind of insult is that? It's like, oh, it's the supports doing all the work. Every character uses supports. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, like people love to compare Hu Tao and Yoimiya. And one thing that I kept bringing up to people, and no one seemed to really latch onto this, but like, if you put Yoimiya in a team with like, I don't know, Kokomi, just Kokomi, she can pull off reliable vapes and does good damage, and her burst is good. Like you can plug her into a team, and she provides good value. Hu Tao, if you don't have Xinchu, if you don't have Zhongli, if you don't have Yelan, if you don't have Albedo, if you don't have these best in slot options, like Hu Tao by herself, I think is worse than Yoimiya by herself.
I 100% agree with that. Hu Tao by herself is definitely a worse character. I think Hu Tao only pulls slightly ahead with the full team, but it has to be a full team of Hu Tao supports.
Exactly, but you don't see those Hu Tao mains saying, "Oh, it's all Xingqiu, it's all Zhongli, it's all these supports." Like, it's a combination, It's a team. They work together.
Yeah, like, but think about if Xingqiu never existed. Hu Tao's entire perception would have never been the same.
Can you imagine all the Hu Tao mains trying to use Barbara for Hydra application?
Like, literally, think about it. If Xingqiu would have never existed, Hu Tao's entire perception would have never been the same.
True.
Like, it's literally because of the support. But like you said, you don't hear the Ganyu and the Hu Tao and the Ayaka mains complaining, saying, oh, well, our supports are doing all the work. But when a character that people don't like Yoimiya or Kokomi or Jinyan, or you just name any one of the lower end, they'll be like, oh, it's the supports doing all the work. And it's like, you realize, like, Hu Tao is 1,000% dependent on Xingqiu. Like,
yeah. Yeah. And you know what? And I think it's cool the way they do that, because it's like real life. Like, certain people just get along and like connect and vibe together, kind of like how we're vibing right now. And like I can't have this conversation without you. You're an integral part of this conversation. If you weren't here, it would be like playing Hu Tao without Xingqiu, And that's the point, I think. It's like, and I think that's a smart game design. Anyway, that was kind of off topic.
But no, it still kind of ties in, like, it's the same thing, right? Like, people, like, content creators will say these characters are useless and bad, but people never talk about how dependent the quote-unquote good characters are on other units. because like Ayaka, like a free to play Ayaka team is nowhere near the level of a Ayaka Shinha Kokomi Kazuha team.
Oh yeah, especially with that, like especially with
Like,
Shenhe. Like I think Shenhe makes crazy difference.
like a free to play Ayaka team is what? It's Ayaka, Kaya, Anemo Traveler, Barbara. that her best in slot team is literally 4 5-stars. No one says that. No one
True.
says that. It's like, her best in slot team is 4 5-stars. 4.
Yeah, that's true. Just get Mona 5-head.
Like, but and you look at other teams like Yoimiya, her best in slot team is not 4 5-stars. Like, she's much easier to build around.
True, and she also has more than 1 or 2 teams. Like Hu Tao, she has more variation now, but I remember there was a point in time where Hu Tao had 1 team, like literally a single team that she could run that would like work. And I mean, that's so restrictive. Like people don't seem to realize this. Like hyper carries are really valuable because they can provide a lot of damage, but also like they provide no value outside of that. If they're not doing damage, if they're not the main damage dealer, they kind of don't fit anywhere. Like you can't put Hu Tao in as a support, even though she has that crit rate buffing thing. Like that's not good enough, to be a support.
Wells. That's only used for Wells.
Right.
Like I don't see Wells speedrunners use her crit rate for like a Ganyu because they'll give the Ganyu like 30% crit rate, and then the extra little bit of crit rate from Hu Tao will pull through.
Yeah, I'm seeing Nafu. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pronounce your name wrong. Naufal says free-to-play Ayaka teams can hit only 20k per tick at the most, while with Shenhe, she can hit like 55k per tick.
Exactly. But see, like a free-to-play Yoimiya team compared to the best in slot Yoimiya team, there's going to be a difference, obviously. There's obviously a big difference between the worst to the best, but it's nowhere near as massive of a jump as Ayaka from her lowest team to Ayaka's best team. It's nowhere near as massive a jump.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
And why do you think, Flo, why do you think people get upset when a character comes out? The character's good, but they get upset because they're not better than the last thing. Like it's almost like the Genshin community wants power creep.
I talked about this a little bit earlier in the sense of like you think you want it but you don't. It's the hype train thing. Like when a character comes out, everyone loves that character. Not everyone, that's stupid to say, I know, but like a lot of people love that character. If you look at that character 5 months later, how many people are still using that character? You know what I mean? Like hype plays a big deal with what people are currently interested in and currently using and whatever. And so I think when a new unit comes out, people kind of expect it just because we've been trained as gamers that like, oh, the next thing is always better. Oh, there's always a rank higher raid tier or whatever. Like we're kind of used to that. And so we just naturally expect those units to be stronger, and our hype builds around that. And then when it doesn't meet that expectation, everyone's hype just drops all at the same time. And then it's just like this doomer feeling of like, oh, I don't know. Like actually such a good example of this is Dory, because when Dory came out, she was like, I saw some of the most doomer videos I've ever seen with Genshin Impact. There were content creators making videos that were like, is Dory proof that some characters are useless? Like actually useless. And then like 3 days later, I'm seeing already like I'm not gonna say the most broken team builds, because like that's like, again, like we need to get away from that stupid everything's amazing, everything's incredible. Like she has some good teams that she fits in that actually she specifically fits in that other characters don't do so well in. So and that's gonna with time that'll obviously get better. We've gotten tons of examples of that, like with Kokomi having tons of units that release that work well with her, having oh my god, my mind is blanking so hard. Toma, he had with the Bersian comps, that's really brought him back to life. Like characters generally take time to settle in, and people just hit the ground with these characters. And like if the first damage number they don't see is 100,000 crit, they just their intrigue goes flaccid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but let's be real here. All the waifu mains in the world, you can name all of them. Like I can start from Hu Tao all the way to you. Like I can name them all. Let's be real. If they kept power creeping and make every unit better and better and better than the last, eventually our old waifus aren't gonna be that good. They're not gonna be that useful. And
Exactly.
I don't think people.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, like, the one thing that I think about a lot, is that they can always adjust how hard the enemies are. They can always make the game, like the difficulty of the challenges, harder or easier or whatever. But the character balance is not like that. Like, if they release a character that is just fundamentally breaks the game, is just so OP, so incredible, or whatever, that it just power creeps everything, like there is now a permanent gap, unless they buff everything else to catch up to that character. There's now a permanent gap in power, and it doesn't matter what content you put out, there will always be that massive power creep. And
Yeah, like think about it. Child in a few months, Child will be over 2 years old for the game, right? And Child till this day, like remember the first few months, he didn't have the best reception. Then people found out his best teams,
yeah,
and till this day, he's still considered one of the best units in the game. And that's amazing character design, in my opinion. Like a unit almost 2 years old in a couple months, and he's still towards the top. Like that's amazing character design.
yeah, I agree. I like I've said before, I've played a lot of video games, and I've never played a game that has done balancing this well. Like I'm always like, every time a game company is like, oh, we have a new class, we've announced a new class, it's like, oh great, the new strongest thing. You know, you like, as a gamer, when you hear those things, you're like, oh great, they're gonna screw this up. Like gosh, I'm sure a lot of people felt like that when Genshin first came out. When like Klee came out, I distinctly remember people saying when Klee came out that like Diluc was dead, that she flat up, like straight up power crept the crap out of him apparently, and now he's useless. And like looking back on that, that's just so dumb. It's just so dumb.
Wait, Nightfall in the chat. He says there's that Yalan C6. Okay, I gotta say something real quick, Flo.
Go for it.
I will. Yalan C6 is the most broken thing I've seen in video games in a very long time. That is, it literally, it's not, okay, I don't care if you're meta or casual. You cannot dispute it is the single strongest constellation in the game.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
It beats C6 Yula, it beats C6 Raiden, it beats C6 Hu Tao, it beats C6 Ayaka. I think only Ayaka C6 with a Shinha C6 can somewhat keep up with it. It is the single most broken thing in the game. What were they thinking?
Yeah, actually, you know what's funny is when I was reading, when I first pulled her, and I was reading her constellations. I'm gonna pull her up real quick. I was reading her constellations, and I got to the 6th one, and it was like, after using her burst, she will enter the mastermind state. Okay. In this state, all of her normal attacks will become breakthrough barbs. And I'm like, wait a minute, her breakthrough barbs are her charge attacks. These breakthrough barbs will have similar abilities, but will do more damage. You know, and I was like, what? I was having a heart attack because I thought the game was dead. Like, I thought they just destroyed their game. And then it says it lasts for 20 seconds and you can only shoot 5 of the arrows. And I was like, oh my God. If they didn't put a max cap of those 5 arrows,
It's too strong. It's still.
I know it's still.
Have you seen it? Dear God! Mona, Zhongli, and Kazuha team with the C6 Yalan. There's nothing that can keep up with it. There's nothing. There's not a single thing in the game that can keep up with it. It's ridiculous. We're ridiculous.
Personally, okay, here's how I feel about it. Personally, at that level of play, when you're playing with C6 units and C6 supports and all this stuff, dude, it just doesn't matter anymore. Like, you're doing so many buckets of damage, like you have to stop. You have, like, I wish whales would just stop for a second and consider, like, what's the point? You know? Like, yes, you just did 200,000 more damage than you could with that other character, but you're already doing, like, close to millions of damage, you know? Like, what is the point? It like, C6 Yai Miko is also giga broken, but, like, how giga broken is C6 Yai Miko compared to Yelan? You know, like, I don't know the answer to that question, but does it matter? Because either way, it's just broken.
All I'm saying is, they're telling me to calm down. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You got really into it.
But still, like, it's just, I'm a C6 R5 Eula main, and it's not more that I'm upset that there's now another C6 stronger than Eula. I'm not upset about that. I really don't care. I'll love Eula forever. But I'm more upset, like, the power gap is for a C6 unit. It's just ridiculous. It just makes other C6s look normal. They just look average.
Yeah, I would say that's the worst part about it, is that, like, if you look at C6 Elan and then you look at C6 Hu Tao, you're like what are we doing here? You know, like, what's like, imagine Hu Tao had her C6 was, every time she enters her skill state, she can auto attack to immediately do charge attack damage with every auto attack hit with no ICD. For, like, the first 6 hits or whatever. And then you have to actually charge attack after that. Like, that would just be stupid. Like, stupid broken. You know, and she has this weird C6 instead where it's like, you know.
It just, you know, I win to lose, right? The funniest video he's done in a while was when he was trying to, like, compare the standard unit DPSs, Tignari, Kaching, and Diluc. And when he did Diluc, he said Diluc's best team is Diluc, Bennett, Yelan, and Zhongli. And when he did the Diluc run, he didn't even use Diluc. He just used Yelan.
You know what? I haven't been watching a lot of Genshin content creators lately, but I did watch that video because I was curious about Tignari and his DPS. And when I saw that, I was so mad. Oh yeah, we did give Freddy his catnip, guys. So I'll change the like goal to, if you give me the 45 likes, I will juggle while chatting with Lay.
I was like, what's the point of using the Luke if you're not gonna use him?
I know. that made me like, I couldn't tell if he was trying to make a joke and like, oh, haha, funny, or if it was like, because like his reasoning was she does more damage than him, so she's just gonna do the damage and he's gonna not do the damage. And it's like, that's like putting, what's an example? That's like putting Hu Tao on an Amber team and then being like, well, we're here to showcase Amber, but Hu Tao's on the team and she does do more damage. So, like,
Look, first chamber, I was like, okay, the first chamber's just, really easy mobs. You can group them up real quick with Yelan. He has C6. That's understandable. But when he got to chamber 2 and chamber 3, I was like, Diluc? Diluc? Diluc?
yeah.
Wait, Diluc?
Yeah, and then there's also the issue that, like, who is this content for? You know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to do a showcase between standard banner characters, who's going to need that content the most? Probably free-to-play people. If you make a DPS showcase with Yelan, or sorry, not Yelan, Tignari versus Catching versus Diluc, and you're showing a C6 Yelan just absolutely decimate the Abyss floor, like, what has your viewership learned or gained from this that's actually important? Like, what is a free-to-play gonna get from watching this other than that you just, like, took your gigantic schlong and just shoved it down their throat? Like,
I was like, at least use his burst. Like, please.
yeah, I think he used Deluxe burst for like
one E. That's all he did.
Oh, he did one E.
He did one E on the last chamber for the last hit. That's the only thing he did with Diluc.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's sad. That's sad.
But like, that goes back to Yelan. Like, where do we go from here with C6s? Will C6 sub DPS and hyper carries forever be on Yelan's level, or was she just a special case?
Probably a special case. And again, I think like C2 Raiden, we're gonna have instances like that where characters break the mold a little bit, and I think it's more exciting for everyone because it's so uncommon. Like, in a game where the meta flips every patch. Actually, you know what? This is something I wanted to talk about, because do you know Elder Scrolls Online?
Yes.
Have you been hearing about what the heck is going on with that game? Because I watched a couple videos recently because I used to play it.
I don't keep up with it anymore.
Okay. Well, they have basically an update patch every 3 months or so. And during that time, they flip the meta every time. They make drastic changes to every character class build. Everyone has to redo everything every time, because you could be running a build that gets nerfed to the point that it's like literally useless and you have to redo everything. So that's the situation where everyone doesn't even want the meta to flip, because it doesn't even have time to exist. Like, you don't even have time to build your characters to enjoy the meta, because by the time you build them, you're already like 1 month away from the freaking meta flipping again. But Genshin has the opposite thing, where it's like it'll be like a year before a character will break the power ceiling, and then a character will. And I think if you want my tinfoil hat theory, I think they do it on purpose, because they know that it's like edging. Like, you get a bunch of whales that really want that character that breaks that power ceiling, and they're like, oh, this character's gonna do it, and they don't do it. Oh, this character's gonna do it. Oh, they don't do it. This character's gonna do it. They don't do it. And then eventually they get the character that does break the power ceiling, and they like instantly C6 R5 them, and they're just like, oh, worth every penny, even though it's like, you know, it's like a crap ton of money that you just spent on your character. I gotta grab more tea and stuff. So you talk. I have my headphones on. I'm just gonna go grab tea.
Okay. Hey, Nightfall in chat. I agree with you that they give Liyue characters special treatment because Liyue is China, right? I think that they just give Liyue characters special treatment. The next Liyue character we have is probably gonna do like 3 times the damage as Yalan, just because they're from China. It's sad, man. And also, hey, how are you, Prismer? Hey, Tia. Hey, Dante, is this what you wanted? You were in a call with me and you were like, man, I would love to hear you. I would love to hear you rant with Flo. Don't mind it, honestly. Oh, you're a Liyue specialist. Bro, W1R4D1K4. Give me a name because I don't feel like saying that every time. But hey, how are you? Imagine what if Bizo came out and he was just hitting like 3 million damage? Welcome back. Exhausted. I don't know how to say your name, so I'm gonna say exhausted. I'm sorry, forgive me. I'm not the smartest man. I'm just covering for Flo till he gets back. Yeah, but what if that's the thing, Nightfall? Like, for what if every time Baizu healed, he also did damage? Like he did like a significant chunk of damage. Oh yeah, Yao Yao. I forgot about her. She's from Liyue, right? Yao Yao.
Okay, I'm back. Speaking of, I was listening. Speaking of Yao Yao, they recently, like, everyone in my stream was talking about it like the night before they posted a picture of her. They were like, "Where's Yao Yao? Is she gone forever?" And then they like the next day they posted a picture of her, and with Chi Chi.
Yeah. Do you agree though, Flo? They give Liyue characters special treatment because they're from China.
So okay, I'm gonna lay this out the best way I can, and you tell me if you think this makes sense. They have mentioned that they design characters like each region has its own style, I guess. Like Inazuma was supposed to be the artsy fartsy like kind of character arc where like we get a bunch of characters that do a bunch of really weird, unique kind of things. And I think that's why a lot of people were frustrated with Inazuma, because they kind of tried a bunch of new stuff. They really did try a bunch of new stuff. But the Liyue characters they mentioned are designed to be simple and elegant. So like if you think about all the Liyue characters like Ganyu, Shenhe, like Yelan, all these characters, they're rather simple and they're strong. They do their kit really well. It's to the point, and they're very good at what they do.
Oh, that explains Yanfei because she's the most simple character in the game to play. You just put a shield on and you mash.
But yeah, I think that's why people prefer Liyue characters, because in terms of meta, that's always what's best, is the thing that is the most simple and the most straightforward, basically, is what people always prefer. It's like Ganyu, you know, Yelan, like that kind of stuff. I would say Yelan's more complicated than Ganyu, but still has that kind of, you know, you hold E and then you hit Q, and that's what you do. I'm interested with Sumeru. That's why I'm really interested to see like what is the theme of Sumeru, because I figured out Inazuma. I was like, okay, with Inazuma, they're really doing a lot of experimentation. They're kind of playing around with stuff. But like, what are they going to do with Sumeru units? How are they going to be feeling? What do you think? What do you think is going to be the difference?
Wongley gifted you some subs.
Oh, Haley, thank you so much for the 5 subs. Nat, Elvina, Gosen, Nightfall, and Tia, congratulations on your memberships. I did find out that these gifted memberships are given out in order of how often you guys interact with my content. So if the more you are in my live streams and the more you watch my videos and stuff, the more likely you are to get a membership.
Bro, I don't even have the option for that. Where is it?
What do you mean? For gifting memberships? It should be right where the super chats are.
I have super sticker and super chat. I don't even have that option. Do I gotta do it on my computer?
I don't know. Haley's gonna have to let you know.
I'll just ask Haley later. But yeah, that makes sense. And you know, like, yeah, Inazuma was more like a lot of more niche supports, right? Supports that work very well in specific situations.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What was Mondstadt supposed to be?
I don't know. That's a really good question.
I've always said Mondstadt was the physical region.
True, with Fischl and Eula, you kind of.
You have Razor, Fischl, Eula, Rosaria. Think about how many physical damage bonus weapons are in Mondstadt alone in Dragonspine.
True.
There's a lot.
You know, that could if Varka is physical, I think you could make a really strong case for that because, yeah, that's fair. I don't know what Mondstadt's theme would be though.
There's so many characters that can work with physical from Mondstadt.
That's very true. Kaya as well. Yeah, like Lisa, if you're running Superconduct.
Oh dear! Oh my goodness! I thought you were about to say Lisa.
Physical Lisa. Skyward Atlas R5. Oh yeah, we gaming.
My heart just dropped. I thought you were about to say physical Lisa.
No. It was almost. It wasn't a Chi battery moment. Don't worry.
Oh man, I was about to tell someone to clip that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap back over to my game. I'm still down to chat, but I want to run around.
Well, no. If we're done ranting, I'm gonna go back to Dante.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know if I can probably rant forever about Genshin stuffs, but it's up to you. You know, you're the guest.
Hey, chat. You want me to stay, or you want me to leave? Do you want me to continue, or you want me to buzz off? I see stay. Okay. Then I have to do my own special rant. I need Flo and everyone's here help. I am a whale. I'm a pretty big whale. But I've been doing a lot better at spending less money. I need your help, chat. Do I get Nilu or do I skip her? Because I really like her. But I plan on getting constellations for Kusanali. So, like, if I get Nilu, then I'm going to have to end up spending a lot of money for Nilu and Kusanali. So, do I skip Nilu, chat, or do I get her? I see skip. Okay, I see a get. Skip, okay. There's 3 skips. 2 get. 3 get. Oh, this is even. Why are y'all doing this to me?
All right, so here's what we talked about this earlier, actually, a little bit, but the first 2 banners are predictable. Like, we know she will get a rerun before we go to Fontaine. After that, it gets kind of like more difficult to guess. So if you're thinking about skipping her, I would recommend skipping the first banner because you know that she's going to be back in the next 4, 5, 6 months probably.
Yeah, she's really one of those. She would really be one of those trophy characters for me. I love her design. She's top 3 design in the game for me. I really love her design.
I do think she has a really pretty design. I like what they're doing with her skill, and I like her burst animation a lot. I am skipping her though. I have so many Hydra units already, and I pulled everyone in Inazuma. I just can't do that this patch. I'm also trying to save my wallet some pain, you know.
Yeah, but I wonder if she. I don't know, man.
Just wait for her to come out and watch some tests. Wait, like, give yourself a specific time, because I know you'll watch a video and you'll be like, I'm gonna pull her right now. So give yourself like a specific time, like I'm gonna wait 1 week after her release, and then, you know, regardless of how many videos you've seen or whatever, at that point make your decision, like whether to skip or not.
Look, Flo, did I ever tell you about my Ayaka story?
Maybe. Nightfall asked if I'm going for Cyno, and yes. But go for it, play.
So I was on call with Matum and Dante, while Ayaka's, you know, permanent banner was going on. And Matum said something along the lines, I believe, like, I bet you won't do a 10 pull and something. I was like, you bet wrong, I can do a 10 pull. I have like 3 pity. And I did it and I got Ayaka. And I was like, oh. So if I do another 10 pull, I bet you I'll get another Ayaka, jokingly, and I did. And I was like, okay, something's rigged. What is going on? And I said, okay, I have like 25k primos. Let's just see how many I can get in 25k. And I ended up getting 5 Ayakas and 25k primos.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's the luckiest gotcha moment I have ever had in my life. Dante was on call with me. Look, Dante's in chat. He's like, yes, the Ayaka story. I was going crazy. Like, I was screaming. I was like, I got another one. Oh my god.
Yeah, and Dante was trying to stop him. Oh man, that is wild. I don't think my heart could take it.
I got C4 Ayaka and like 25k primos.
That's crazy.
I think I'll never be that lucky ever again.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You don't spent that luck.
I don't know what happened that night, but the Genshin gods were looking down on me.
The stars aligned and everything was perfect.
See, my previous luckiest was when I went for my C6 Eula. I didn't lose a single 50-50, and it was about 90k primos. I thought, that's pretty dang good.
That is pretty good.
Well, it wasn't a bit less than 90k. It was somewhere around 70 to 90, I believe. I can't remember the exact number. It was a long time ago. But I thought I was the luckiest then, because I think I only lost one 50-50 or no 50-50s. It was a really long time ago. But I thought that was the luckiest I'd ever get. And then that Ayaka happened, and I was like, oh. Okay, so I'll never get this lucky ever again.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm gonna lose the next 20 50-50s in a row.
That's kind of how I felt on Yelan's banner. That was just ridiculous. I can't even remember how many pulls I did or whatever, but all I know is that I got her for like literally free. Like I didn't have to. I don't even think I used all my primos. That summoning session was crazy.
Sometimes Mihoyo's nice.
Yeah. Sometimes it does work out for you.
My bad. Hoyoverse. I'm sorry. I triggered someone the other day because I said Mihoyo. I genuinely triggered someone in a Discord. They got so upset. I was like, bro, I'm sorry. I apologize. Hoyoverse. I'll never say Mihoyo ever again. Bro, come.
It's really hard for people that have been playing since launch or for a long time, especially if you've already if you played like Honkai or other things, like they've been Mihoyo for a long time. So
wait, I remember someone's chat earlier. You were talking, so I skipped over it. Someone said oh, here it is. Nilu. Is it Nilo or Nilu? I think Dante says Nilu.
I have no idea.
I think Dante says Nilu. They said Nilu is the most whale bait character. Just saying. Okay, no more info. You trying to give me some leaks?
Freddy.
Hey, Meow, you wanna DM me some links?
Freddy, shush. I think that when people say that she's whale bait, I think the reason they say that is because they talked about in the live stream how her most optimal pairing is with only Hydro and Dendro, because when you have dual Hydro and dual Dendro, she creates special bloom cores that do like big PP damage or something, I don't know. And the thing about that is that Kusanali might be her best in slot support. So like you may wail for Nilo or however you say it, and then or Nilu, and then you may need to wail for a Kusanali to make her work in her best in slot team.
So you're saying the two characters I want might be really good together.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where like literally people, it's just because like Kale and like Tignari won't work well for her. Kale and Dendro Traveler will work well for her, but obviously whatever Kusanali does, it's probably going to be better. You know what I mean? So like, I think it's going to be one of those situations where people will say that you need Kusanali for Nilu, but I don't think you do. It'll just be her best in slot team. Like there will be a difference if you're using an Archon or not, duh, but I don't think it's going to be like end of the world kind of thing.
It might honestly be similar to a hyper carry team using Sucrose rather than Kazuha. It's still going to be really good.
Yeah.
It just won't be as good.
Yeah. I think most of it's going to be like quality of life. I have a feeling based on previous Archons that like her skill is going to be the thing that applies all the Dendro. And so with Traveler, you need that burst up time. And that's, you know, energy requirements and all that stuff, which gets restrictive. But with Kusanali, it's going to be like 100% uptime with just her skill. So she's not even going to be burst dependent. And that's going to make her like way better for Nilu or whatever. And then I have a feeling that like, I'm pretty sure that Nilu's best in slot team is going to be Nilu, Candace, Kusanali, and one other Dendro unit that may be out now or not. Like it might be Dendro Traveler for a little bit and then maybe swap over to someone else when like Al Haytham or something when he comes out. So like I think her team, I think everyone is saying that she's really confusing, but I think Nilu's like really straight up. Like she is for Bloom teams. That is what
doesn't Bloom do self damage?
Yeah.
So wouldn't you need Kokomi for healing?
No, it's not a lot of damage. It's
oh, so like,
if you have any healing, it's like basically not noticeable.
Oh, so like you're saying that she can just tank through it.
Yeah, no, the reason they put that self damage in there is for like Diluc and for Beto and for characters that have these parry mechanics, because there's no way to force yourself to take damage except for Bloom. Like Bloom is the only way that you can force trigger her parries. I think Overload might work. No, I don't think it does. I don't think Overload works.
Well, I'm wondering maybe just pull a C0 Nilu, kind of like I did with Kokomi, because I'm happy with my Kokomi at C0. I'm glad I didn't get her constellations. I know you have her constellations, but I just don't need them.
Yeah, no, she's great at C0.
So probably I should just get C0 Nilu and then wait for her rerun to see if I want more.
I think that's fair. Based on what they showed of her kit, I think that she's gonna work pretty well at C0. Just from what they showed, it looks. I mean, I think probably the thing that's gonna matter the most is like her uptime on her burst and stuff, and we don't know that yet, but it should be fine.
Candace looks cool too.
She does. I'm excited to finally have Hydro Infusion. I've been waiting for that for a long time.
Look, all I'm saying is Kaching mains they're scary. Like, look, we already have Electro Kaching, Pyro Kaching, Cryo Kaching. Now we're gonna have Hydro Kaching.
Yeah, it's funny because there's that. It's gonna be really good for Taser comps. It's gonna be funny. Like catching Taser is gonna be hilarious. But I I'm surprised more people don't talk about it for like Kazuha, because when I think about these infusions, I immediately think about Kazuha and how I'm gonna have like, I have Cryo Kazuha and Pyro Kazuha, and now I'm gonna have Hydro Kazuha.
Just the avatar.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And he's also wind, so he really is the avatar.
Exactly. Exactly. When he first came out, that's what I thought of his kit. I was like, oh my gosh, he's supposed to be a multi-elemental DPS because his infusions do so much damage. Like he gets the infusion on his burst, on his skill, and then you can infuse his auto attacks. So I mean, he always does hybrid damage, always. You know.
Flo, please help me. I've been trying for weeks and it's not working. Help me tell Dante. Hey chat, everyone, please help me tell Dante to not pull C2 Albedo, to be happy with C0. Dante wants to pull a lot of characters. He can't afford to be pulling these constellations.
Oh,
he doesn't.
Albedo is so perfect at C0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely do not need it. Like I got C2 on him as an absolute luxury. Like it added like 10,000 damage to his burst. Like it was not worth it for like bang for buck. Absolutely not worth it. But I love Albedo and I just wanted to see those big juicy burst numbers. It's overkill, especially with your C6 Edo. Like you just don't need it, dude. You're stacked.
Hey, who's a mod in here? Exhausted. I need you to ban Prismer for trying to tell Dante to go for C2 Albedo. How dare you? How dare you? Don't do it, Dante. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, I mean, for most people, you know, constellations are just a waste. I mean, you got to think about it like this. Getting a character, let's call that 100% value. So then a constellation is like 12 to 15% value. You know?
Some cases less.
Yeah, some cases less. So it's like, are you gonna pull for something that's like 100% value because it's an entire new character? Or are you gonna pull for something that's like maybe a 10% damage boost for a character you already have?
Look, I'm just saying, like, Dante's not going to be able to afford all this stuff he wants to pull if he keeps pulling these constellations.
Yeah, and Albedo doesn't even need his first constellation. His first constellation is so pointless. Like, he does not have energy problems.
It's one of the worst constellations in the game.
Absolutely, yeah. From a meta perspective, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible, especially because, like, the reason they gave him that constellation is because Albedo is sort of like the flexible Geo character, but almost everyone uses him in mono Geo now. So that first constellation just does not matter because you're already getting so many Geo particles. Like, his design is a little outdated for the way Geo works now, but it still works because he's still defense scaling, so it's fine. It's just that he has...
Flo.
Huh.
Why I remembered this. So I was going through some videos, some shorts, and I saw this guy say, I wish we had a resonance for a mono team. Like if you have 4 Geos, there was a resonance. I was like, oh, that'd actually be so cool.
You know how I feel about mono teams. No response.
Shut up.
Well, I was just wondering why you didn't say anything about it. I don't know. I expected you to get all fired up.
I'm just saying that imagine if Dante's Geo addiction, if it had a 4 resonance for him.
It would have to be 3. It would have to be 3 characters because every team base is like 3 characters in a flex. Like mono Geo is 3 Geo and a flex. And you can put that flex as a Geo. But like other teams, like mono Hydro is 3 Hydro and a flex.
True. It would have, yeah, okay. I'll say 3. But still, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that could be cool. Yeah, like they could just literally just make it so that it strengthens the normal resonance, just makes it like better, you know?
Because we all know Dante's pants drop when he's playing his Ito team.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that summoning session still blows my brain. I can't believe that it happened the way it did.
Look, if you know how I really want Varka, right? Like that's probably like my most anticipated character if he does become a character is Varka.
Yeah.
And Dante's like, he's been trying to say for months now, what if Varka is Geo? And I've been saying no, 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 but I actually realized something. I want Varka to be Cryo or a Nemo. But if he's not one of those two, the next choices, I don't want an Electro Varka, I don't want a Hydro Varka, I don't want a Pyro Varka, I especially don't want a Dendro Varka, so the next best thing is Geo. So...
Oh, I see. You don't want Geo Varka, but you're okay with you don't want Dendro Varka, but you're okay with a Geo Varka. I get it.
I am perfectly fine with a Geo Varka. I would die inside if he was Dendro.
I don't know. It could be. We don't know.
But like, can you imagine, like, I can just see Dante now checking his phone. He gets a notification from the Genshin Impact YouTube channel. They uploaded a new picture. He's like, oh, what did Genshin upload? He sees Geo Varka. I can just see him passing out now.
I can see you passing out.
No, I wouldn't pass out. I'd be like, well, at least it was the third best.
Fair enough.
I want him to be Cryo or Nemo because he's the Knight of Boreas.
Yeah, that would make sense. But like Razor, I don't know. But Razor's Electro, you know?
Yeah, and he does know Razor's parents.
Yeah.
I guess Electro would be the fourth best.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
But,
at least...
hey,
Huh.
I did say Mondstadt could be the physical region, so if he was a physical, he would probably need to be Cryo or Electro.
Fair. I wanted to ask you something, by the way.
And that is.
I already sort of got picked Sansu's brain about this. Like, in your humble opinion, is Electro fixed?
Flo,
What?
are you sure you want me to answer this question?
I want to know what your thoughts are. Like after the new reactions and everything. Like, how do you feel? Do you still feel like Electro is slacking? Like,
Okay. You just kind of fired me up. Let me try to calm down a little bit. Okay. Electro was never bad. It was never bad. It was never a bad element. It was never, ever a bad element, ever. Yes, it fell behind in some things, but Electro was never bad. I don't understand this. It was never truly slacking. I truly believe this. I've been playing with Electro since the beginning of time. Even though I'm a whale, a lot of my Electro units are not whaled out. It was never, ever as bad as people says it was. It was just above average, in my opinion. It was never truly bad. And now it's actually really good. Like, it was never truly bad. That's honestly how I feel. It was never, ever truly bad that people they were just getting hard-ons from seeing Hu Tao hit 100k little charge tank veins and 500k little charge all hits like from Mona and Sucrose. Like, really? That's all people, the dopamine in their brains were like, oh my goodness, look at this 1 million damage red number. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, look at this cryo shot from my Ganyu. It did 300k damage. Like, dude, shut up. Electro was never bad. It was never bad.
Point taken. I think I must have mistook you for like your opinion for walruses, because I know Sanzu thought Electro was weak, and I already checked with him, and he's like super fine, like he's like very happy with the Dendro stuff. I don't know if I've heard whether how Walrus feels about it. I haven't been able to catch his streams lately because I've been busy and then also tired.
Do people forget that if you really are a meta person, do they truly forget that one of the best teams in the Abyss for the last 2 years has been Taser? Do they forget?
Yes, yeah, people do forget about that. I still see to this day people like people will be looking for team comps, and people will recommend like National, or they'll recommend Raiden hyper carry or something stupid, and I'll literally always be like, build a Taser team. It's easy. It's like the easiest team to build. It's super brain dead almost all the time, and it's always really, it's pretty dang effective. So Taser's always been in a great spot. It's great. It's crazy to me that people think it's weak.
It's been one of the best single teams in the entire game for almost 2 years.
I know, but people, you know how meta people are.
It just, but see, like if you're like truly hardcore meta, then you understand that Electro was truly never bad. But if you're just like, if you're one of those in the middle, you call yourself hardcore, but you're really not. You're more casual, but you just consume a little bit of meta content. Those are the people who complained about Electro. Those are the people who said Electro was weak. It never was weak. Like,
I agree. I always felt that I always felt like it held its own. Like I never felt like, I mean, you know, like you said, you know, Hu Tao can hit, you know, super big PP numbers, but I never felt like my Beidou hit like a wet noodle. I never felt like my Beidou was slacking or like really doing a bad job. I just kind of felt like people's expectations of Electro were different than what was intended. I think people expected Dendro to be just a DPS element, but I think Hoyoverse wanted Electro to be like a utility sub DPS element. Like, you do damage, but you are also providing, you know, just utility with damage over time or energy regeneration, you know, whatever. And I felt like it worked pretty well, but people hate overload. People don't like using Taser teams for some reason, and people just, oh, Electro is useless. Oh, it just like, I don't know. I feel like with these changes, it's definitely fine.
if you complain now about Electro, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, at that point you just can't be happy. Like,
Right. Nothing will satisfy you if you think Electro's still bad after Dendro. Something is actually wrong with you.
yeah, I would agree with that. It's a pretty massive spike in damage, and I like the way they did it. At first, I was kind of annoyed by the ICD thing, but then I realized that they did that so that certain characters could benefit more from the buff than others. Like, catching is going to benefit way more from aggravate than Raiden, just because catching does more reactions than Raiden. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I like that. That evens out the playing field, even within the element itself. You know what I mean?
Look, all I'm saying is, I remember talking to this girl named Natsuko a long time ago, and how she was saying how Electro was super bad. She was one of those people. I love Knots. If she ever sees this for some reason, she needs to know, like, I always think of her as a friend, but I always told her, if they buff Electro to make it do more damage, there's a chance that it could become the most broken thing in the game if they don't do it right. And thank God they put the ICD on aggravate, because if they didn't put the ICD on aggravate, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been terrible. I'm really glad the way they did it. Like, I have this kind of tinfoil hat theory that Shenhe and Yunjin and all of these characters, you know how they started releasing all these characters with these additive properties? Like rather than
I know where you're going with this. We literally are brothers. We literally have the exact same thought. I was thinking Shenhe, Yunjin were a test to see if aggravate would work.
yeah, to see if they could maintain the balance of the game and still buff things without it being like super broken. And they were like, well, we could, you know, Freeze kind of has the same issue that Electro was having where it didn't have damage boosting reactions. So it makes perfect sense for Shenhe to get put in there as a test, and it worked perfectly well. And it's like, that's one of those examples where like, I want people expect so much polish from this game. And I do too. Like, I expect this game to be really polished. But like, we gotta keep in mind that like, some of this stuff they're really doing like on the fly. Like, they're really working with what they got and just like trying things. And sometimes I think people are a little too harsh on that. Like, I don't know. Like, if they do a limited event and it's stupid, sometimes people are like just ridiculous about it. Like, just don't play the event if you don't like it. You know what I mean? It's like if people hate it, they won't rerun it. Like, that's just the end of it.
Hey, I've seen some Diluc mains, and I'm not crapping on Diluc when I say this, because I still think Diluc is viable and that you can still clear with him. But I've seen some Diluc mains getting heated discussions when people say Kaching is better now.
That's funny. Hey, they have the right to say that because it was the opposite for so long. Why would you use catching? She deserves the shine, the glow up.
When I came back from my break, because you know I took a long break from Genshin. When I came back, the first thing I tried was a Kaching Dendro team with the Traveler, and I was like, "Whoa, what did my Kaching just do?"
Yeah,
I was like, "Whoa."
I don't even have a super built Kaching, but I tried her out with Tignari, and I was like, geez, like this is already a super big noticeable difference in damage.
Hello, Cryocar. That's how you say it, Cryocar. How are you?
I forgot what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna say something.
Were you? Were you though?
Yeah, but I can't remember. Brain. Gosh, something about you're talking about Diluc and catching and I have no idea.
You can thank Dante, everyone, for me being here, because I wouldn't have came here if he wasn't like, man, I would love to hear you two rant. And I was like, say less.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice chatting with you. Oh, this is what I was gonna bring up. Since you are like one of the rare cases of me being able to chat with someone, like, you know, some people like, oh, I'm gonna take a break, I'll be back, and then like it's like they go out to buy cigarettes or something, like, oh, daddy will be back soon, I just gotta go to the store real quick and buy some cigarettes, and then they're gone for like 15 years.
Yeah.
How was, like, explain for chat like how your break was, because first of all, explain how you were feeling before your break, and then explain how the break has made you feel coming back to Genshin.
Okay.
And I gotta run to the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back.
Okay. For those who don't know, I had a wreck beginning of this year. I'm still kind of crippled. I won't be. I've been recovering, but I'm good now, and I should make a full recovery. But I was feeling very burnt out of Genshin. I needed a real break, I felt like, and let me tell you something. almost, I believe, 3-month break I took from the game was the best thing ever. Guys, if you really feel burnt out and you're stressing about primos, unsubscribe from every single Genshin content creator you have. Turn off your notifications for YouTube and Discord and take a real mental break. It was the most refreshing thing ever. When I came back to Discord, I felt like a new man. And I plan on being around now for a while. But don't force yourself to play something or to do anything if you're not mentally there. And I was literally getting mentally drained from Genshin, and it was literally affecting my personal life because I felt like, oh, like I have to get on and do this event. I have to get on and do these quests. I have to explore, get some primos so I don't have to spend as much money. It was becoming very very toxic. So it was the best thing ever. So if you ever feel like it, don't be ashamed to take a break. Just tell all your buddies, tell all your friends if you have them on Discord or IRL, like, hey, I'll be back. I promise. I just need a few months. And when you come back, I promise you'll feel 10 times better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't talk to Dante. You are right. I did not talk to Dante for 3 months. I know, but because when I finally called him, you could just hear the happiness in his voice. He was like, "Hey, buddy, well, how have you been? Oh, goodness, it's so good to see and hear you again. I'm glad to see you're recovering so well. I love you too, Dante.
I love your Dante impersonation. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, no, but breaks. I mean, like the game's not going. You know, like they're building the game right now. You know, taking a break can really bring that back to life for you. You know, like you come back to the game feeling fresh faced. You're like, you're actually hankering it. You know, like you actually want to play because you haven't played in so long, kind of thing. Like that's, yeah, people underestimate that, and I know there's a lot of FOMO, but I think it can be really helpful to hear from someone who like actually took a break and is like, yo, that was a good idea.
Hey, like I missed Yelan because of my break. I didn't get Yelan. And I didn't get Kazuha because I was actually considering getting Kazuha, but after that break and I came back, I was like, wow, I didn't need either. And I really thought about it, and I was like, okay, now that I've seen what Yelan can really do, next time she comes, I'm probably just gonna get her C0 because I really didn't need her. I just like her because of her character. But Kazuha, I'm probably not going to pull at all, even if he does get another rerun, because I even further proved to myself that I truly just did not want or need him. So it was a little bit of FOMO those first couple months, because I was thinking, man, freaking Yelan and Kazuha banners, I'm missing them. But when I came back, I was like, ah, well, dang, I actually didn't need them.
Yeah. And there's always rerun banners.
Exactly.
You know, and like you mentioned, it like gives you the time to really think about it, like really think about it and make up your mind. Like, okay, do I want constellations? Am I just gonna go see one? Freddy, what are you doing, buddy? You're going crazy.
I literally don't think, like, even if Yelan was my favorite character, I truly believe I don't think I could ever pull C6 Yelan, because what would even be the point of playing the game? Yeah, I would just click a few buttons and everything would die.
Yeah, I actually have to be real with you guys. I don't pull higher than C2 on units because I pulled a couple units higher than C2, and like it's so overpowered at that point that it ruins the fun of the game. I remember watching certain whale streamers when I was an early Genshin gamer, and they're like doing the same event as me, you know, you're like watching their stream while you do the event, and they're like one-shotting all the mobs, they're doing like 1 billion damage. They're like, this is the most boring game in the world. Why is this game so easy? It's a baby game. It's like, you spent $5,000 on this team. What do you mean it's a baby game? Like, this team exceeds what is even possible within the game. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And
Yeah,
I stick with that. Like, I think if you want to enjoy the game and you want the game to remain fun and challenging, you should stick with C0 units 5 stars all the time. Maybe 1 or 2 C1, C2s here and there, but like that I think is where the game is. Like, I remember once Walrus was saying the game was balanced around C6, and I just can't believe that. I know that he has reasons for thinking that it is balanced around C6 because like the power gap or something is closer, I think is what he said at C6, but because all the units are just so fundamentally broken at that level, I genuinely think that C6 is meant to be overkill. It's not meant to be like within the bounds of reasonable gameplay. Like, you've just spent $2,000 on a character. Yeah, they're gonna break the game, you know?
Yeah, like for me, I'm not bragging, I'm just reiterating your point on how boring things can be. I recently just did the Abyss, the Primogems Abyss up in the Abyss, right?
Yeah.
I decided it was a good idea, which it wasn't because it was, like you said, boring as hell. I decided, let me use my C6 R5, Eula, Raiden, Mona, and Zhongli.
Ugh.
It literally, one Eula burst, one Raiden slash, it died. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, what? Is that it? Like, oh, okay. So let me go back and redo this with a little bit of a weaker team.
Yeah.
I get to fight it. It stood up and died.
Yeah. People have seen me use my freeze team, like my Shenhe Kazuha team, and like I will clear chambers before I finish a rotation. I will do like 2 elemental skills in 1 burst, and everything's dead. And it's like, that's not fun. You know?
Like Prismer, hear me out. Like, I'm reiterating my point of why I'm not trying to wail as hard anymore. Because that team, that Eula, Raiden, Mona, Zhongli team I said, has literally killed the fun in so many events, and like, I refuse to use that team anymore. Like, until they truly put out something that needs that level of damage, I can't use that team anymore. It's just not fun. That's why I'm trying to cut back on the spending, because I wanted to support, because I can afford it. I wanted to support Hoyoverse. I wanted to, be one of the people that support them. But I'm going to have to cut it back because it's starting to ruin the gameplay experience for me.
Yeah, oh crap, I had a thought. It's gone.
But like, when things start to literally ruin the experience because you're too strong, you need to dial it back.
Yeah, I agree. God, I can't remember what the heck I was gonna.
And then, if one day Mihoyo, oh dude, I hope that guy's not in here. Hey, whoa, he's not in here, is he? I'm so sorry. My bad.
Excuse me, it's Hoyoverse.
Oh, bro, Hoyoverse. I apologize. Hoyoverse, if they ever do decide to release that level of difficulty content, then I can always go to that team if I wanted to, right? That's always an option. But until they do that, I'm not trying to kill my own gameplay experience.
Yeah, actually, okay, I remember what I was gonna say. If you guys go online, I'm sure you guys know of content creators that purposefully nerf their units. Like, they're such big whales, they have to use like 1-star weapons to be doing 300% the damage of a free-to-play. Like their units are so busted with their artifacts and everything else that they literally have to use like a 1-star weapon to like bring down the power to a reasonable level so that they're still doing like triple the damage of a free-to-play. Like, it's I don't even want to say free-to-play anymore, because like at this point, like, Genshin's one of those games where you really do save. You can save for a long time and get like a free-to-plays at this point. If you've been playing since launch, you're gonna have like C6 catching, you're gonna have like C6 Mona probably, like, depending on your luck. So Yeah.
Look at Dante. It's starting to affect Dante. Dante's not he's not a whale at all. But because he saved for so long for C6 Ito, he's starting to feel it too. He's starting to, he was telling me, hey, how much easier the Abyss is. I'm like, I wonder why.
Yeah.
When you have freaking caveman over here just
like, exactly. I was actually wondering, like, they've never put in a game mode that requires that level of strength, and I wonder if they don't want to add it until they think like light spenders and free-to-plays could be at a level where they could achieve it, like,
well, why can't they just toggle the difficulty, and no matter what difficulty you choose, you still get the same amount of reward? So if you choose the hardest, you're still getting the same reward, you just have bragging rights now.
Right. I think they've been I think they've been testing around with stuff like that, like with some of the events. They messed around with, like, you can do the extra challenge stuff for like no rewards or whatever, like a little bit of Mora, but like that's it. I think the whales, they're afraid that the whales will feel gypped. Like, oh, I spent all this money to fight harder enemies so that it's, not easier or whatever, which is like contradictory. Like, we were just talking about how whaling can make it feel boring because you're not challenged. And like, that's kind of the point, is to make it challenging. But I think that the reactionary response is going to be like, what do you mean I spent all, like, I should get more primos in this free to play because I spent money, kind of thing. And I don't know. I'm guessing, like, they're doing this card game, which they explicitly stated is for the casuals. It's meant to be a casual PvE kind of experience, maybe a little bit of friendly PvP with your friends. I wonder if they're putting that in as sort of like the casual end game, and then once the casuals have their end game, they're gonna lean into the hardcore end game after that, maybe, and give us like some more combat stuff. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of it's not really kind of tied, but it was me, Dante, Haley, and Bree the other night. We did co-op in my world, and I said, hey, let's fight Raiden for fun with a strong team. And Haley pointed out something. There are team comps that, if you're playing single player, that don't work at all. But if you play co-op and you have 4 separate people on those characters, they work fantastically.
True. Kokomi is like that, yeah.
Yeah, she pointed out that the team we had was fantastic on co-op, and I was like, holy crap, you're right. This is amazing co-op team. This would never work on single player.
Yeah, I really, like, I think they've designed, some of the characters I think are designed with multiplayer in mind. And that makes me wonder, because, like, if certain characters are designed to have particular functionality that is boosted in co-op, like, wouldn't that be them basically saying, like, yeah, we want to focus on this in the future? Like, I don't know. I think they have the foundations of a good co-op experience, and they really just haven't done much with it yet. And I think they will flesh it out and do stuff with it, but I really do think it's one of those things where they're just super duper focused on the story and the regions. I mean, seeing Sumeru, the amount of work that they put into this, like, it is obvious that however much work they put into Inazuma, they put like 10 times the amount of work into Sumeru. And that's like not like the crap on Inazuma. Like, I still love Inazuma, but it's good to see that they like doubled down on their efforts with Sumeru and, like, went further beyond.
Yeah. So speaking of that night, so Cookie, she's actually one of my favorite character designs. I'm gonna get her on her whenever she comes back. So Dante, her C6, how it's like Hutal C6, where she can not die when she takes a lethal hit.
For Cookie?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have her C6, so I didn't know that.
Oh, her C6 is just like Hu Tao C6, where if she takes a lethal hit, she doesn't die.
Oh.
And see, Dante, we were doing the Raiden boss together, and you know, the little bubble that protects you from the one hit.
Yeah.
Dante popped it with Cookie, and I was like, "Why don't you wait? You have C6, right?" He was like, "Yeah." Why don't you just run out there? You won't die. He was like, "What?" I was like, "Bro, just run out there. You have C6." And he said, "Okay." He ran out. He was like, "Oh my God, I'm alive! I'm alive!" I was like, "Yeah, you have C6 Cookie. Like, you won't die from the Raiden slash if you have C6 Cookie."
That's hilarious. So, I wonder, so like Chi-Chi could like revive people from that too, like if everyone, see, that's the kind of stuff that I think is tailor-made for like co-op experiences, like C6 Chi-Chi. If we have an endgame raid where there's like a wipe that is just so hard that no one wants to mess with it, you could literally just have a Chi-Chi player do the mechanics and then everyone else dies, and then Chi-Chi, wait, I think it only revives one character, doesn't it? I'm gonna eat.
No, I have C6 Chi-Chi. It revives everybody.
Oh, Pog. Okay, yeah. So you could just like basically like, oops, we almost wiped, and then just like fix the whole situation. And I think that would bring a lot of value for Chi-Chi as a co-op healer. But you know, we just really haven't had any situations that make that relevant.
C6 Barber doesn't work in co-op? Really?
Oh, really? That's weird.
Wait, what? Wait, Barber doesn't work in co-op?
Let me look at the wording. So Barbara C6 says, when Barbara is in the party but not on the field, that's why it doesn't work. One of your own party members falls. So if you're doing 2-player co-op.
Oh yeah, you can do 2-player co-op.
You just can't do 4-player co-op.
You can do 2 and 3-player co-op.
Yeah, you can do 3-player co-op if you're the host using Barbara.
Wait, Gosen-kun, does it work on 2-player co-op? Have you tested that? Because she's technically out on the field in 2-player co-op.
Right, yeah, no, it should work in 2-player. Because the only other stipulation is not on the field.
For the host only. Oh.
Oh,
I see.
That's weird.
Dang. That kind of sucks.
Hey, Manchu.
Wait. I'm kind of happy that no one died that one time we were doing a boss rush. I think it was me, Haley, and Dante again. We were doing a boss rush, and I was like, "Hey, I'll use Barbara. If one of y'all die, I can revive you." Thank goodness no one died.
True. Oh, flow in the middle. There we go. All right. How many primos did I get from that farming? I got like 600 primos from running around.
Nice.
I'm trying to, let me see how many wishes I have right now for Cyno. I've got a...
Is he first banner?
Yeah. They always put my favorite characters on the freaking first banner. I hate that. Makes me so mad. Like, I just want to save. So I've got 59 wishes without anniversary reward. So with anniversary, I will be at, right now I'd be at 79. I think I'm at like 0 pity, probably. Yeah, I'm at like 2 pity.
Oh, Candace is on Cyno's banner? Then
yeah.
Wait. Did they not intend Candace to be with Nilu?
No, I think they did. And well, I don't think they're necessary together. But if you want to run hyper carry Nilu, you will need Candace. They did not say anything about Nilu having infusion, and I think that's gonna be her. Like, I think Nilu is gonna be kind of like Shenhe, where she has just a super good kit, but she has no way to give herself infusion, and so you're gonna need Candace. Which is kind of weird because, you know, usually they put them on the banners together, but I think they're doing it for lore reasons because Cyno and Candace are closely related in lore for the way that the story is going to unfold.
I see.
Also, Dante, I got your message.
Interesting. Well, Dante thought I was gonna fall in love with how do you say it? Dea? Is it Dea?
Dia.
Dea?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people actually thought I was gonna fall in love with Dea, because you know I have a history of liking like characters like Eula and Raiden and Jean and Rizal. So people are like, oh, you're gonna love Dea, and I like Dea's design, but to be honest with you, I didn't expect myself to like Nilu as much as I do. I like Nilu better.
How dare you have preferences? What's wrong with you? Yeah, I'm actually, it's funny because I'm feeling the opposite, but hey, you've done the Archon quest, right?
Yes.
Okay. I felt like Nilu's a really cool character. I love her design and aesthetic. I personally felt like good character quests and all that stuff. I'm sure. But like Dea had a lot. I mean, just a lot. Like, I feel like we got to see so much of her, and I really like how, gosh, I don't want to sound like this guy or anything, but like, I'm so sick of tsunderes. I don't understand why everyone is so obsessed with the step on me mommy thing. Like, I don't get it. I just genuinely don't find what's so cool or interesting about that. And I love that Dea is a strong woman, like very strong, proud woman kind of trope thing, but like, she's not a tsundere. Like, she's not just mad at everyone all the time. Like, she's a real sweetheart, you know? She's a real sweetheart. And she sold her sword to help her friend, and she's willing to take the risk of fighting with a crappy sword because she loves her friends. And it's like, aww, you know, like that just makes my heart all warm and fuzzy.
When they reveal Dea in the future, whenever they reveal her as a character, I hope the cutscene is like she's fighting with the Waster Greatsword, that 1-star, and then someone just throws her 5-star claymore to her.
Well, they already showed an upcoming cutscene where she's fighting with it, the 1-star. So that's possible. Like, that's entirely possible. I feel like that could happen.
I wonder what her sword's gonna look like. It'll probably be red.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm still trying to rack my brain on to like what the heck she's even gonna do. They've been really smart about, like, they've had her fight or whatever, but they haven't shown anything.
I'm just gonna say it. I think they're gonna release a 5-star pyro DPS every region because they have so far. So I'm gonna say she's gonna be a pyro DPS, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm holding out hope that maybe she's like a weird physical DPS or something, and I can do some fun, weird comp with her. But
5-star Jinyan.
Yeah. But I really don't care. As long as her kit is fun, like as long as she's fun to play and a good unit, I'll probably get her. I'm hoping that she's like a burst DPS or like a little quick swap friendly, because Cyno's a hyper carry. So, you know, I don't really want like 2 hyper carries.
Oh, I was actually talking to Dante about that before I got on with you. He was telling me, would I be able to handle Nilu's playstyle change? And I was like, look here, like, with all due respect, I don't care about playstyle. I care about fun. If a playstyle is fun, then I'll do everything to adapt to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's actually how I felt about Sara. When Sara was coming out, everyone was complaining about her, but I actually thought that she was like a cool change of pace. I was like, oh, I really like how her buff is like you shoot her buff with her arrow. Like, I think it's fun. And a lot of people thought it was arduous, like annoying. I'm like over here vibing because I think it's like an interesting, unique, you know, like approach to stuff. So.
Yep. But
Yep.
Yeah, you just how it is. Like,
Yeah.
if you really enjoy a play style, you're gonna adapt to it because it's fun. But if a play style is not fun, then you're just not gonna do it at all, right? Like, there's no. When people say like, "Oh, I'm a vape specialist" or "I'm a taser specialist," I'm like, bro, really? Like, really? That's all you do? That's all you do? Like, so every single taser team is fun to you? Every single vape team is fun to you?
Right.
Like,
press X to doubt, you know?
that's like me saying, as a Eula man, I'm like, oh, I'm a physical specialist. But me over here trying to Razor, I'm like, yo, you know, all due respect, screw Razor. He's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's like, we should all just be Genshin Impact specialists, you know?
Amen.
Yeah.
Hey, I Crawford, beautiful. I'm a random BS Go specialist. Hey, amen.
That's fun. I've been playing around with I guess what the kids are calling soup comps nowadays, but like rainbow comps, you know? And I've been having a lot of fun with them. Dendro does really well in rainbow comps, and I've been liking that too.
Dendro is like, if you really look at it as a base, Dendro is by itself the worst element in the game. But when you add other elements to Dendro, it becomes insane.
Yeah, 100% agreed. It's definitely. I'm happy that they did it that way. Like, really, it's a huge. Oh my god, this thing is doing big damage to me.
Opposite of Geo. Like, Geo just wants Geo, but Dendro wants everything except for Cryo, obviously. You know, because you know they for some reason Cryo can't work. I was kind of disappointed with that, but I understand.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Cryo doesn't need any more help, but yeah,
Would have been cool.
Yeah. The Bloom, I do like that Bloom works really well with Dendro, because I talked about that before Dendro came out. I remember I speculated that it was going to do damage over time and that it wasn't going to react with Cryo or Hydro, and it was literally just going to be like you freeze the enemies and they get damage over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sort of. I mean, that's basically what Bloom is with these so-called fridge comps. I don't like these names that these kids come up with. I keep calling them kids. They're probably like Zajef or something. Freddy.
Yeah, it's TCers who come up with the name.
Okay, yeah. Soup comp, fridge comp. Like, I don't know who's making these cringe names, but can you stop? Like, it sounds really stupid.
I'm pretty sure, like, in their Discord, when something new comes out, someone just randomly says something, then everyone else is just like, you know what? Let's just go with that.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess, you know, it's not really that important. I just think it's hard to say soup comp. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but like that does not roll off the tongue. And it also makes me think of my characters blended up into like some minestrone or something. And that's not a pleasant mental image.
Oh, like, speaking of Zajeff, like I actually like Zajeff, but he's one of those that can come off wrong, but I do think he always has the right intentions. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, I haven't watched, to be clear, I have not watched any of his content.
Yeah, but okay, like he's more like, think about it like this, like he's one of those that'll tell you, hey, he'll straight up tell you if he thinks something's trash or right, or something's worthless. But it comes off harsh, but he's doing it because there is a lot of people in his streams and videos who are like genuinely confused about stuff, and he just doesn't want to see people waste money or waste resources. Like, he could come off a little bit better, but I do think he is coming, like he does have the right intention of trying to help people.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I know there are a lot of content creators like that, and I try to separate it. Like, I'm thankful that I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm ungrateful that there are people doing math. Like, I hate math. I'm glad that like people like, you know, all these theory crafters are out there crunching numbers, because I don't feel like doing it. I could, but it's a pain and I hate math, so I don't want to. Like, I'm grateful that they're doing that. What gets me mad or gets me frustrated is that these people often don't think about how they should present the information. And I know that they're doing math and they probably feel like that's not the important part. The math, they think the math is the important part and they don't care how it presents. But I'm kind of here to say that, yeah, it kind of does matter how it presents. Because like, you could have the most accurate math in the world, but if you start like talking about characters in a really subjective, passive aggressive way, you know, it loses people. It does the opposite of what you want. You want people to listen to you, and instead it just makes people mad, and then it turns people off from caring about what you think. And so it's like, it's contrary to what they want. And it's very similar. Like, when I was a professional musician, there are a lot of musicians that are very good musicians, but they don't know how to teach. Like, they don't know how to get someone else to be as good as they are, because they're just good at it. You know what I mean? And I think some theory crafters are like that because they're really good at math and they're really good at all this gotcha stuff and all this gaming. Like, they just so happen to be the ones that are the ones doing the math and also the ones who are presenting the information. But their skill set is not with presenting information. It's with doing math.
Yeah. For the people in chat, if you ever, for some reason, want to check out TCers, the only ones I really recommend are Zajeff and, okay, I promise you this is his real name if you've never heard of him. I promise you. It's called Smack Daddy King. I promise you that is actual YouTube name. I promise you. Those are the only two that I really like, can kind of like vibe with, because yeah, you can hear sometimes the elitism, but at the same time, they also are the only two I have found where they will know when to bring it down and, like, you know, actually genuinely try to help people. While there are some TCers, I'm not going to name names, but oh Lord, they'll just be like, this sucks, this is good, don't use this. You know what I mean, Flo?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, and exactly. Like, they have high IQ, low EQ. Like, they're really smart. They know what they're talking about. It's not like they're dumb. It's not like they're wrong. Like, yes, these characters are meta. Yes, they are the strongest. Yes, they do the most damage or whatever. But the way you present that information is important. And like, that's why I really respect like Sevi. I shout out Sevi all the time, because the way she presents her information is so good. I genuinely think that if you're looking for a fair content creator who gives the characters a fair shake, gives honest opinions, it's not like she's like, every character's waifu, every character's meta. It's not like she's lying to you. She's giving you 100% accurate information. She's just also respecting the fact that people don't always want to do the meta. Like, it's not necessary. And a lot of people have preferences, surprise, surprise, and like, you know, they may not want to run that meta team. And so, yeah, there's a lot of, yeah, go ahead.
How dare I like Nilu more than Dia? How dare I?
Right, like you're obviously just wrong.
Yeah, like pyro supremacy.
Right.
I will say one thing. I will be very upset if Dia is another vape unit.
Yeah, me too. I would love to see like a viable melt burst unit.
Well, my thing is, I told Dante, like, if they're gonna go into Inazuma, you know, selling all these reactions, if y'all are telling me Nilu makes these special blooms, right? Why can't Dia make special virgins? You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, that's a really good point. That's probably exactly what they're gonna do. That's probably exactly what her kid is.
Yeah, like why can't her virgins be bigger, stronger? You see what I'm saying? Like than others. Like,
yeah, it probably does. Also, I just remembered. I think Nilu's blooms don't do self damage. I was just thinking about that, and I'm pretty sure I remember reading that they don't do any damage.
Oh wait, let me clear up something with the chat. Chat, calm down. I'm not saying I don't like other content creators. Watch a lot of Genshin Impact. I'm not saying that. I like a lot of the content creators. Those were just my go-to to check out if you're looking for like straight up hardcore meta, right? If you're not looking for straight up hardcore meta, then obviously, then don't do that.
Right.
But I like a lot of content creators. I'm subscribed to a lot of Genshin content creators. Like, don't think that I just hate everybody. I don't.
Yeah, no, Lay watches a lot of people.
Yeah, I watch well over the average amount of Genshin content than most people. Right? I have a lot of people I'm subscribed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I would really like to see Dia have special virgins.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. I think that would, if, you know, that would be a good theme for it. That could be, you know, that could actually be the theme for Inazuma. Is like...
Inazuma?
Not Inazuma, Sumeru. Like, making reactions different, you know, making bloom different, making version different, making, aggravate different somehow. Probably not. I don't know.
Do you think Kusanali is just gonna have really good Dendro application and then just gonna single-handedly be the best Dendro reaction buffer, or do you think she's actually gonna do like good sub DPS numbers? Like, what do you think Kusanali is gonna be?
Right now, I'm kind of feeling like, just based on her personality and what they showed in the Archon quest for like what her powers are supposed to be, I feel like her skill is going to be some kind of taunt or something. It's going to be some kind of field, or it's like maybe not Tainari's thing exactly, but like her skill is probably going to be a Dendro field. Just put Dendro. And then her burst, I'm guessing, is going to be some utility thing. Like, I really doubt she's going to be any kind of DPS. Like, I have a feeling that she's going to be like, have some kind of like unique utility with her burst, or maybe EM buffing, or something like that.
You think she might be like Kazuha, where the character is literally carried by a talent? A passive talent? To think about it, Kazuha... A lot of people don't know this. A lot of casuals really don't know this. They think his buffing is just inherently in his burst and skill. It's actually his passive talent.
Yeah.
Like, you think she's just gonna have a broken passive talent like Kazuha?
I don't know. They have been really smart about those passive talents lately. Been using those, but
It's like, think about Kazuha's value if he doesn't have that passive talent.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Good, but That passive talent's kind of broken.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Especially because they had to nerf it. Like when it was in beta, it was even stronger, and they nerfed it.
She's gonna be like Zhongli, but with less damage. She's gonna have a shield, a Dendro shield, indestructible Dendro shield. What if her burst is her becoming grown for like 10 seconds?
I doubt it, but I would imagine that. I don't know. I keep thinking that like, cause they have all this stuff where Kusanali is like very sneaky, like she's like ethereal, like she's in your dreams, she's teleporting, she's invisible or whatever. I kind of wonder. I don't know. She can also take over people's bodies if they're connected to the Akasha. Like, she has some weird powers. I kind of wonder if her burst is going to be super weird. Like, your whole team turns invisible for 10 seconds. Nah, I don't know. That's stupid. It's not.
Oh my goodness. What if she could put enemies to sleep, even bosses?
Right, exactly. Like, I was thinking something like that. Like, she could charm enemies. Like stun lock them, basically. Like, not just taunt them, but also, like, put that, like put them to sleep, basically, would be good.
Be the strongest CC in the game because like they be immobilized and they be sleeping.
Yeah, I'm guessing that what it would have like a trigger effect to wake them up. Like you would have to, how they have that Grievous thing on enemies where like if you do a Grievous hit, they whatever. Like on specters and stuff, they could just give them that kind of mechanic. Like if you do a high impact hit, it'll wake them up. But if you do a low impact hit, it won't wake them up.
Well, we already know she's gonna be good. They've never made an Archon bad. Actually, all Archons are pretty disgusting.
Oh yeah, no, she's gonna be great. She's gonna be great. I don't doubt her, and and so far, like honestly, I've been enjoying her character more than I did Raiden at first. Like I kind of didn't like Raiden for a while until like her second character quest, and that was when I was like, okay, I really like her character. But Kusanali, I mean, they do a really good job of making you just feel freaking terrible for her. So like she's already very likable, you know what I mean? Like I think the reception will go over well with her, except like I don't know, there might be some people that complain. Like if I think she's gonna be like a raw support. If she's not a raw support, or I mean if she is a raw support, I know there's already like some Kusanali mains out there, and if they can't hyper carry her, they're gonna be pissed.
But wait a minute, but it's through her. Okay, so if she's an Archon and a raw support, that means their support capabilities are going to be actually insane. So
yes.
You should actually be happier because you can't hypercarry her, yeah, but that means this character can probably last you the rest of this game's lifespan. Yeah,
but people have this stupid obsession with like if the character's not on the field, it's not good enough. Like I think it's crazy to think about how unpopular quick swap teams are. Like people are just naturally averse to it, and like quick swap characters just aren't as popular, even though they're really strong. Like
but you can kind of see that. Think about it, like the majority of the Genshin player base is by far super casual, by far like a huge portion of it.
Yeah.
And just for casual players who want to literally just turn their brain off, all they want to do is put on Zhongli's shield, switch to a hyper carry, and mash. That's all they want to do. They don't want to swap. Like that's why Cyno is going to be super popular for extreme casuals.
Yeah.
Because his burst is gonna you just stay on the field. Like you literally just maybe pop Zhongli's shield and just go ham with Cyno. That's all you do. Like they can literally just turn their brain off. That's why hyper carries are so popular.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a new hyper carry with a new element every region now. Like, I bet we'll get, like, maybe they'll hold off on Dendro hyper carry, and then we'll get a Dendro hyper carry in Fontaine, and then we'll get like a Hydro hyper carry in freaking Natlin. You know what I mean? And I feel like they'll keep doing that because every time a new region comes out, there's a wave of new players. And what I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it feels like when people start, if they pull a hyper carry as one of their first units, they settle into the game really well. Like, they have one team that's just like super good. Like, they don't have to worry at all. And then they can just focus on their other team from there, and it gives them like a really good starting point.
Yeah, but like, people are already speculating that when Cyno drops, I Win to Lose is gonna do a C6 comparison between Cyno and Zhao.
Of course, of course. Oh man, I can't wait for Cyno though. His animations look so good. His burst animation's so good, and his voice. Oh, I'm freaking out.
Oh, dude. So many females just like lost their crap when they heard his voice.
Oh, I lost my crap. He's freaking, his voice is so perfect. It's that like dry monotone, but deep, like really deep. So when he wants to sound angry, he can pull out that like super like, I'm gonna destroy you, like kind of voice. But then when he's like telling a bad joke, he just sounds like super dry and sarcastic. Like, oh god, I'm so excited. It's a perfect voice for him. Like, I know some people were kind of like not liking it, but I really like it.
All right, well, this is where I leave, chat.
Yeah. Lay is gonna head out of here, and I'm gonna do face cam for a little bit and probably wrap up. I ran in circles for a while there. Like, there was a little bit of time there where I noticed I like ran around the same spot like 5 times.
Well, it was a fun chat. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great having you to chat. I always enjoy it. Have a good night.
Alrighty, bro. You have a good one.
All right, everybody. Let me get out of this call. If you're here, if you're hanging out and you're not in the Discord, we've got the link pinned in the chat here. We've got friendly people. If you're new and you want to drop a sub, you want to drop a like, you want to do all that good stuff, we love that. It's great. Super great. Oh man, got a crack on my bones. It's almost time for me to eat a peanut butter and honey sandwich. It's almost time. Haley said I heard Cyno's voice for 2 seconds and I'm on the floor. Yeah, sorry guys that I wasn't reading chat as much. I was trying to read. I was kind of skimming, but it's like when you're talking to someone in a voice call, it's really hard to find a point to stop and like address chat and stuff like that. So I'm kind of reading back through right now. Unknown God raid boss. They could always rerun the event with the triple Kenkis again. I saw that, Akira. That's funny. Dante quoted Lay here. Don't wail, guys. I suffer from success. I'm an unchallenged demigod in the game. You guys are too funny. Why does this remind me of when we had to fight Raiden boss over and over again because he wasn't doing it? You know what I mean? All right. Yeah, I kind of read back through. It was a great talk, great stream. Good night, Akira. At least it's still on the purpose of the stream. Farming primos. Yeah. Yeah, I did farm a lot of primos. That's true. Got another 200. I gotta check these events real quick. Just to make sure that I don't screw myself. Okay. I have to get tablet analytics, phase trials, and I have to finish the wood carving thing on Graven Innocence, and I have like 6 days left. So I'm probably gonna stream a little more frequently until patch 3.1 drops. Because I gotta get all these events done, guys. It's stacking up. They really dropped a lot of content on us. Alright. Thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream now. I did give Freddy catnip earlier, by the way. I did give him catnip, so he got it. It's good stuff. The last tablet phase isn't out yet anyway. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, sorry, Tignori's making noises. All right, I'm getting out of here. Stay healthy. Stay hydrated. Peace. Bye-bye.